We're in Monaca, PA, Sarge Albert Stadium tonight for a matchup of two of the winningest teams and coaches in the last decade and a half. Undefeated Avonworth at Central Valley. Between them, 8 WPIAL titles, 2 state titles belonging to Central Valley in 2020 and 2021. Avonworth coming in as the top team in the state in Class 3A. Welcome to the Friday Night Countdown, brought to you by Bud Bear Subaru. High school football, Week 5. I'm Allie Cohen alongside Damon McDermott. Damon, you called it last week. You said it was going down to the last minute. Well, it actually went down to the last seconds. Aliquippa over Penn Hills. When you look at these two teams behind us, each team knows that they have to beat the other to advance in the playoffs. So how do you see this one going down tonight?
Yeah, two very familiar teams and two teams, like you talked about, storied programs. And for Avonworth, what can they do wrong right now? 5 straight wins. They lose that state title by 3 points, and they want revenge. And then for Central Valley, you lose your first 3 games, and then the last 2 weeks, you finally start to learn a little bit about your quarterback, your new running back who used to play tight end, and you put up over 100 points. So both of these teams, it's a must-win tonight, and Central Valley wants a little bit of payback.
They do, and Central Valley head coach Mark Lyons saying that Avonworth has their number. They lost 3 straight to them. He says, we don't lose to teams 2-3 games in a row, so they want this win bad. We've got a ton more to talk about at this matchup coming up, but it's time to catch up with the rest of the WPIAL. Taking a look at headlines from last week across high school football. Last Friday, Fort Cherry's Matt Sigg, a Penn State recruit, breaking the WPIAL touchdown record. Passing Clareton's Tyler Boyd and Lamont Wade, needed 3 touchdowns, got it done. He holds the record now with 118 TDs.
And the biggest thing, I'm going to credit Matt Fargo upstairs. He's going to laugh because I steal his stats sometimes. If you counted his passing touchdowns, he's 170 touchdowns. There's kids that would take 20 for a high school career. He's been unbelievable. He's going to be so talented at Penn State. And, again, he has over 11,000 yards in his career. Unbelievable, Matt. You've done great things, and now you are a legend in the WPIAL.
Frustration at Baldwin continues in their shutout loss to Elizabeth Forward. A player rips off an opponent's helmet, takes a swing. Lots of people not too happy. Baldwin coach Dana Brown Jr. saying the kid won't be kicked off the team. He's going to use it as a learning experience to grow.
Yeah, and I will say, I think it is a good decision. He should stay on the team. But the biggest things, I was coached by Sam Albert back in the day in Highlands. Never take your helmet off and never be the second guy to a fight. He did both of those things. But, again, he's a teenager. He's going to learn. The biggest storyline this week is them doing a running clock to every team they play the rest of the year. They only have 30 kids. But to me, how do you go into a locker room and tell your kids, hey, we already requested a running clock for this game, and pretty much telling your own roster we have no chance? It's called Any Given Sunday, and right now it's called Any Given Friday. They can upset a team. I'll be rooting for Baldwin the rest of the year, the students, and I hope they get a win, but I think that's a bad message to tell your team every single week we're going to do a running clock.
No doubt, both of us playing high school football. Not high school. I did not play high school football. I played high school basketball, but both of us playing high school and collegiate level. You want your coaches to believe in you. You don't want that to happen. There are 12 teams undefeated at 5-0 on the season. Who has the best chance to win the title, and who should be on upset alert?
So we have some picks. So I don't want to ruin them all, but we talked about Matt Sigg. I think Fort Cherry's going to repeat. They're going to go 5-0. I think this game, there's a little bit of an upset that could happen, but I think Avonworth pulls through. The one that a lot of people are going to be really angry at me because I've been talking how good they are all year. Central Catholic has lost a game. They play NA tonight. I think Central Catholic wins that NA, goes 5-1, and Central Catholic just has their number right now.
I think you're on a roll right now. So I think, and if anyone's placing bets, I think they should listen to you.
Yeah, and one more. I would go, you have Avonworth, and then we're going to talk about Amani Christian later. They do have a very tough matchup tonight, but that's another team. I don't predict them losing until maybe the state playoffs.
All right, we're writing it down. 3A WPIAL Championship rematch coming up in just a bit. Coming up next, though, we're going to check in with the guys at the Post-Gazette. More Friday Night Countdown brought to you by Bud Bear Subaru after this.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters called the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
At Giant Eagle, we believe in better because this recipe is 4 generations and going strong.
Yeah.
Because it's more than a cake, it's a tradition. Because when you were little, this made it all better too. Because this has been Sunday for as long as you could remember. For over 90 years, Giant Eagle has been here to keep your traditions going strong. Because it matters.
Thanks.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots and real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
I'm Rocco, and I work here. I show Palmer's Monaco. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
A conference matchup you don't want to miss. Avonworth at Central Valley tonight. Welcome to the Friday Night Countdown, brought to you by Bud Bear Subaru. I'm Allie Cohn alongside Damon McDermott. Entering the second half of the season, early season adjustments seemingly made, teams settled in. To talk about it just a little more, we'll head over to our friends with the Post-Gazette, Keith Barnes and Matt Press.
Well, we've passed the first half of the high school season like I don't think anybody has had in years, and it's been kind of crazy to have a Bill Chirpak team get beat up like that. But Avonworth looked really good last week as well when they beat Hopewell too, and they contained perhaps the best young quarterback in the WPIAL and James Armstrong. This is a team that could win the WPIAL again this year and maybe finally win that state championship. Matt, what are you seeing coming into this game?
Well, I think it's important to note with Central Valley, they started 0-3 last year, started 0-3 this year. They've won their last 2 games and actually played Avonworth pretty close in the regular season when they faced off last year. So I think it's important not to take them lightly. But then again, with the way Avonworth's playing with Luca Neal, Dimitri Belisaris in the backfield, Carson Bellinger dishing it out at quarterback, I think this is Avonworth's game to lose.
I think it's Avonworth's game to lose as well, but never count out a Mark Lyons coach team. I mean, he's been there before. He's got 5 WPL titles to his credit. You know, you never know what's going to happen. Okay, that's the Post-Gazette 2-minute drill. For Matt Press, I'm Keith Barnes of the Post-Gazette. Now let's go back to Central Valley.
Taking a closer look at who's on the field tonight, starting with the visiting Antelopes, coming in undefeated at 5-0, number 1 in the state in the latest PIAA rankings. Lots of talk, Damon, around this squad being able to compete with most 5A teams.
Yeah, and they beat 2 4A teams this year. Who beats Aliquippa and Thomas Jefferson in their non-conference record? Are you kidding me? And Belisaris ran for 166 yards against Thomas Jefferson. Trust me, as someone that played Thomas Jefferson, you don't do that.
All right. So Avonworth, these guys don't come to play.
No, they do not.
Yeah.
They have dominated all year.
Central Valley 2-3 after dropping their first 3 to 4A schools. They've won back-to-back conference games. One thing that opposing coach Duke Johncore praised Mark Lyons for, being able to replace players. They lost their starting QB, some running backs, have a new look O-line.
Yeah, new look O-line. You're starting a new quarterback. You have a tight end that is now playing running back in Ethan Shear, and he's done a great job with over 455 yards this year and 8 touchdowns. So there was a lot of moving pieces. Those first 3 weeks, you're going to have high schoolers. They got to learn. But these last 2 weeks, when you put up 49 points and 51 points, 100 total, it looks like they're finally starting to learn what their identity this year is, and you're going to need it here tonight against such a talented squad in Avonworth.
And Coach Lyons saying that they can't get in those third long situations. Obviously don't want to be there. Coach Lyons also praising his opponent, Avonworth, with being a complete team. He said anyone who touches the ball has the chance to be successful. So you're going to break down some plays with Avonworth.
And I'm super excited about it because this is a well-coached team. We're going to look into the first one we're going to go into the first one right now. As you can see, they run the ball better than anybody. We talked about Dimitri Belisaris a couple times. Pause right here. They got a wing back. They got 2 wide receivers and a tight end. But to me, that is hat-on-the-hat football. Everybody is super excited at home. If you love watching old-school Steelers football, there is someone for everybody to block. And then Belisaris right here. He breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3, 4, 5 stumbles in the end zone right there at the beginning of the play. He could cut inside, outside. He has tremendous vision, and he scores. And now for Central Valley, if you want to stay in this game, you got to get your playmakers of football. You see Aaron Lawson out there. They're running a simple bubble concept. That outside receiver is going to run a slant, and then that guy's going to run a bubble, Aaron Lawson right there. And now he has a chance between these two defensive backs. He's looking for his wide receiver to help him with one, and he's got to make one guy miss. Right now they're up by 9. There's a huge play in the second quarter, and watch what he does with all this open field. This is what they're going to have to do here tonight if they want to win this game. You got to trick Avonworth. Nice inside juke right back outside, and he scores a touchdown. What a play for Central Valley.
That's pretty good.
I try my best
You do
sometimes.
this often? Avonworth's quarterback Carson Bellinger locked in this season. Coming up, Mac Fargo sits down with him. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Friday Night Countdown, brought to you by Bud Bear Subaru.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, life-changing medicine.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
Welcome back to Sarge Albert Stadium. Central Valley hosting Avonworth. Avonworth coming in undefeated at 5-0. A big piece of their success to start this season. Senior QB Carson Bellinger, Matt Fargo, sits down with him to talk just a little football.
Friday Night Conversations with the quarterback of the Avonworth Antelos, Carson Bellinger, joins me. Thanks, Carson, for sitting down. The WPIAL champion.
Yes.
We got to mention that, right?
Yeah.
We'll start there. What a ride for the Lopes a season ago to win here in the stadium where we're sitting in right now. Take me back to last November and what that meant to you and to the community of Avonworth.
You know, it was a real surreal feeling, you know, coming here the previous 2 years and losing both years in games that we should have put up a better fight in. It was amazing. It was a feeling that I haven't felt before.
You know, it's funny, I feel like in all the conversations I've had with athletes, the first thing that they'll mention if they have lost a championship is the fact that they've lost a championship. And you fit that bill perfectly. Is it true, though, like the losses stick with you more than even the championship does, and that happened more recently?
Oh, yeah, for sure. The 2 losses were big driving factors, you know, going into last year. And then this year, the state losses, even a bigger thing, bigger push for us to get going this year.
What have you used for preparation moving into this season? What have you worked on to better your game?
You know, personally, bigger, stronger, faster, things you always want to do in the offseason. Definitely, again, I've been with my receivers a lot. You know, we have a great group of receivers this year. great group of skilled kids, you know, kind of just getting that connection, the timing down just to be ready for the year.
You're walking through class on Friday afternoon before our high school showcase game on TV. What's that like for you walking through the halls?
It's a great feeling. You get to have a big televised game later that night. You're not thinking too much about school, thinking about the game, the game plan, watching some film. But it's just a great feeling knowing that you're going to get to go out there on Friday night and perform in front of your community.
What's your lunchtime pregame meal?
So for lunch, I've ate the same thing for a while. I ate a couple peanut butter jelly sandwiches, some chips, some fruit. But me and a bunch of my buddies on the team, we all go out to like Chipotle or Chick-fil-A before the game, every game.
If you have your choice, what's better, Chipotle or Chick-fil-A?
I prefer Chipotle before a game because I don't really like the fried food before a game. But, you can never go wrong with Chick-fil-A.
No, you can't. The matchup with Central Valley, it's really become a rivalry now between you guys. They're not far in proximity. Obviously, that adds to it. They cut you guys off in this interview, so that even adds to it. But you talk about that rivalry, and you met in the championship game. The way things played out in the regular season last year and how it's played out in the past, it seems like these teams are trading not only wins and losses, but championship titles as well. What are your thoughts on this Warriors versus Antelopes?
Every game with them's a battle. It's a hard game. It's going to come down to the end of the game. We've had game-winning drives. We've had just grueling games, but, they're a great team. They always are. They're always well-coached. It's just a rough battle, but we expect to be able to persevere through everything that comes at us throughout the game.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You guys at home will get the call tonight from Matt Fargo and former Steeler linebacker Arthur Moats. Guys, on paper, it looks like Avonworth should come away with this one. But is this a game where the paper's crumbled up and tossed to the side?
Allie, that tends to be the case in rivalry games, and this is a rivalry that is budding, Arthur, with these two teams meeting in the WPIAL Championship a season ago. Of course, the first time these two teams met, Arthur, it was Central Valley falling by 1 touchdown, but they ended up the number 2 seed in the postseason because of what they were able to orchestrate down the stretch. It'll be interesting because it does feel almost deja vu-esque with Central Valley starting 0-3. How is this season going to play out?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I will say the one thing for Central Valley is this. It's homecoming tonight, so you obviously have the energy and the emotion. But on top of that, they're 2-0 in terms of their conference play. So that's the one thing, if you're talking about a saving grace or a silver lining, that's what you're focusing on for Central Valley in terms of being optimistic about tonight.
There's no question at the end of the day, we are looking at 2 undefeated teams in conference play. That's how you get into the dance. How we get into our Giant Eagle players to watch, we're going to take a look at quarterback for the Avonworth Antelopes and Carson Bellinger, Arthur.
Now, I'm a fan of Carson Bellinger because you watch how he's able to stand in the pocket right here, deliver a strike on the run for the explosive touchdown. Then you see him show that he can do it outside the pocket as well. Moving to his right, throwing, hitting the receiver in stride for another big gain for Carson Bellinger and that Avonworth team. If he plays well, they're going to be tough to deal with tonight.
0 interceptions on the season for Carson, 9 touchdown passes, just shy of 1,000 yards on the season. All right, on the other side, Central Valley's defense will be needed to be well anchored, and the guy to do it is Brendan Alexander.
Absolutely. Watch the big man in terms of his blocking down the field. 20 yards, 30 yards, pancake, extra syrup on that one. Then you see him be able to flip it. This is versus one of the #1 pass rushers in the state, pancake. But watch him. He still has the ability to go to the other side of the football, use his hands to make a nice tackle. Brendan Alexander is definitely one of those guys that Central Valley is going to need tonight if they're going to try to slow down this Avonworth approach.
26 Division I offers for Brendan Alexander, a 4-star recruit, and will be a big reason if Central Valley can win this football game. Guys.
Coming up, our picks of the night right here on Friday Night Countdown, brought to you by Bud Bear Subaru. We'll be back after this.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, Your brand on the move.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters told the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh Skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
A house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots in real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Welcome back to Sarge Albert Stadium. Central Valley looking to hand Avonworth their first loss of the season. We'll get to that pick in just a little bit, but we have some others on the table that we have to get to first. Clash of the undefeateds, neighboring schools, Upper St. Clair and Peters Township, in a 5A. Damon, who you got?
I get to go first tonight, and Upper St. Clair is not going to be very happy with me. I'm going Peters Township. I think that defense is so talented with Lucas Shanafelt, Reston Lehman, Pitt recruit. Shanafelt's going to Stanford. They got one-handed interceptions, toe-tap touchdowns. Shanafelt plays tight end. I just think those two coming off the edge is a little bit too much for Upper St. Clair here tonight.
On paper, maybe Peters by a hair, but Upper St. Clair may be looking for a little revenge from last year's 5A title game. So I'm going Upper St. Clair on this one.
I love it. I love it.
Guys in the booth, who you got?
This one's a lot of fun, guys. The Battle of the South Hills, and you mentioned 2 meetings last year. They split in the season last year. We had a lot of fun last year with Upper St. Clair and the student sections and all the fun. And you know what? It's a new year. It's a new me. I'm going Peters Township. Give me the Indians. I love what you said, Damon, and I just feel like it's the year of PT.
Yeah, it's hard for me to go against Peters Township, not just because of those 2 defenders, but I also am a fan of the quarterback, the dual threat ability of Nolan DeLucia, his ability to not just throw the ball, but also hit you with his legs. I think that's going to be a little bit too much tonight for Upper St. Clair.
And the other point is, too, that Upper St. Clair struggled by a hair. They beat McKeesport. Peters Township had no problem beating McKeesport. We saw that game here in the showcase.
Jen, who is your pick here, Matt, for a 3 matchup, North Catholic and Amani Christian?
Another battle of undefeateds. There's 12 undefeated teams in the WPIAL right now, and we get to see a bunch of them going at it this week in the WPIAL. Filitsky, the quarterback, Joey Filitsky at North Catholic, one of the best, leads the WPIAL, 20 touchdowns on the season. Amani Christian doesn't have a quarterback. We saw that against Clarendon. Oh, man, it's a tough one. Give me North Catholic in a close one.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's extremely hard to pick this one. But when I look at what both of these teams have done these past couple of weeks, I just feel like North Catholic has been a little bit more dominant in their performances. Yeah. So I'm going to go with North Catholic to get the dub tonight, but that's going to be a good one right there.
And we got to pick ours. I'm going to go.
I'm waiting for you.
You're waiting for me? Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
so you want to figure what I got to say.
Yeah.
So Arthur was talking about defense, and I thought he was going to talk about, or he was talking about offense. I'm going to talk a little bit about offense now in this matchup. I think Amani, even though they don't have a quarterback, Gabe Jenkins, top 100 athlete in the country, he makes it happen. He's going to score a couple rushing touchdowns. When he has to throw it, he has to throw it. I just can't see Amani losing until the state playoffs.
I'm going with my man Arthur. I'm going North Catholic in this one. And last week, you guys got to see the classic, Aliquippa over Penn Hills. This week, Aliquippa at Newcastle. Damon, who you got?
Oh, everybody says don't ever bet against the Quips, and I completely agree with that. After seeing last week, I said it was going to go down to the last minute. It came down to the very last second. Matt Fargo with a legendary call. I'm going to go with Newcastle. I'm sorry. I think Aliquippa has sneaked out a couple wins, and I just don't think they can squeak out one more. Maybe I'm wrong, and then I'm going to be kicking myself, but I think Newcastle gets it done here tonight.
I was going to go Newcastle, and then I was like, I'm going to go Quips. So I'm going Quips. Newcastle a little bit younger, so I'm going Quips. They're feeling it a little bit, coming off of the second win last week. So I'm going there. Guys in the booth, who do you have?
Good for you, David. Doing what no one is really passionate enough to do is go against Aliquippa, and how you could do it after the way that they won. They should have lost last week, keeping in mind Newcastle blanked Penn Hills early in the year 12-0. So in that math, you would think Newcastle has the edge. This game's being played at Newcastle Taggart Stadium, and this is an old-time rivalry, but I just can't find it in me. Teams of destiny, Aliquippa certainly felt like they are one last week. Give me the Quips.
Yeah, Newcastle has been tough all season long. I mean, a dominant performance, and like you talk about, the common matchup, right, versus Penn Hills.
Yes.
But when I look at this Aliquippa team, you talk about it as a team of destiny. I say, man, they're like the zombies. You can't get them. You can't get rid of them. No. They just keep going. And if you do not play for the whole 4 quarters, even to the last second, they can beat you. And I think that that's going to be the thing that they believe in. And I ultimately feel like they get the job done tonight. But whew, that's going to be another one of those good ones right there.
Enjoy the island, Damon.
And finally, tonight's showcase game, class in 3A Avonworth here at Central Valley. Arthur, we're going to you first. Who you got in this one?
Well, for me, as much as I love the underdog rematch, get your lick back, I think this Avonworth team is a little bit too tough. And when you talk about Carson Bellinger, this running game as well, I just think that they're going to overwhelm this Central Valley team and ultimately spoil homecoming.
Man, this is a tough one because of the rivalry and the history between these two teams. But with what Avonworth has done, and not only beating teams, but beating them convincingly. When we talk about how good Aliquippa was just there, they beat Aliquippa and Thomas Jefferson in consecutive weeks this season. That's never happened in the history of the WPIAL. It is Avonworth's season. I think they are a team of destiny, not only to win the WPIAL, but to win the state championship.
All right, I'm going. I really didn't want to pick this one. I'm going to pick the underdogs. I know Central Valley. They lost 3 straight to Avonworth. They don't want to lose 4 straight. I'm going Central Valley. Who you got?
Real quick, I'm going to go Avonworth. They just don't make mistakes. They win the turnover battle, and by the end of the night, you're going to learn a lot about Dimitri Velasaris. I think he should be a Division I running back. We showed a clip of him breaking 5 tackles. He has a great offensive line in front of him. You're going to see him run all over the place. I could see him having 200 yards here tonight.
All right, we'll see what happens. Some Division I talent on Central Valley, too. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks so much for hanging tonight on the Friday Night Countdown, brought to you by Bud Bear Subaru. Don't go anywhere. Rematch of last year's 3A title game. Can Central Valley hand Avonworth their first loss of the season? For Damon McDermott, Arthur Motes, Matt Fargo, I'm Allie Cohen, and the rest of our crew. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you back here in just a minute for kickoff.
JRM Video Productions, winners of a Regional Emmy Award for Live Sporting Event.
JRM Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of WPIAL High School Football, produced by JRM Video Productions.
Welcome to the Emmy Award-winning Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. We're high above Sarge Albert Stadium tonight as the Central Valley Warriors welcome the Avonworth Antelopes and our Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Matt Fargo, joined alongside the former Pittsburgh Steeler Arthur Motes. as we gear up for a 3A showdown. Last year's WPIAL championship, boy, they took different roads to get there a season ago, and they certainly have taken different roads to get to where we are this season. Central Valley, they lose their first 3 games of the season as they did a year ago. Meanwhile, on the other side, Avonworth is undefeated at 5-0. But the good news is for both of these teams, Arthur, the fact that both of them are undefeated in the conference play to this point.
Absolutely right. And I think that if you're Central Valley, that's what you focus on. That's what you hang your hat on. Avonworth, you know what you're capable of. And this is why they're feeling as confident as they are tonight.
And we are going to see how confident these two teams are, and really one of the big tests of their conference schedule. And how do you grade a test? Well, you have to have keys, and we're going to take a look at our game changers brought to you by St. Vincent College. Arthur, how do you get a win here tonight?
Well, I mean, when you first talking about this thing, business as usual from Avonworth's side, right? They understand how to protect the ball. We talk about their quarterback play, Carson Bellinger. Multiple touchdowns, no interceptions. That's the key. But when you're talking about Central Valley, apply pressure. We talk about Brendan Alexander. We talk about that front. In order for them to get the win that they're trying to get tonight, they have to hurry up and make Avonworth speed up and feel a little bit uncomfortable out there. And the best way to do that is by applying that pressure with pressure in terms of the blitz and the pass rush. Now, last but certainly not least, special teams, special plays, and of course, special players. Who is going to be that guy tonight? I mean, if you know number 17 for Central Valley, that happens to be Dominic Prate, one of the best kickers, not just in the Whip Hill, but in the nation. In fact, I think he's the number 8th rated kicker in the nation. Very, very special, and hopefully, if you're Central Valley, he's money all night long.
Yeah, and it could be that field flipping and those game-changing moments that could flip it. Well, the third member of our crew down to the sidelines, Allie Cohen. Let's go down to her now.
Guys, I talked to Central Valley head coach Mark Lyons last night, and I asked him how practice was this week. He said, you know, when there's that quiet confidence, these guys had that. They were quiet, they were focused. He said it was business as usual. And the last thing he said to them after practice last night was, this is why you sign up for football, to play in these big games. We have to want to show up for these games. As for Avonworth, head coach Duke Johncore giving his team a character word every week. This week, the word was energy. He said they focused on negative and positive energy, talking about how it affects life and also how it translates onto the football field and their play. Guys?
Allie, thank you. Yes, two of the great coaches in the WPIAL, two of the great programs in the WPIAL on the greatest place to watch WPIAL high school football, the Steelers High School Showcase, Avonworth, Central Valley, kickoff coming up next.
At Giant Eagle, we believe in better. Because Saturday morning is your superpower. Because 7 only comes once. Because game day is your day. Because nothing should get in the way of family time. At Giant Eagle, we're always going for better to bring you the best. Because it matters.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists. A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance. Everything is right here that you need. We deliver that right to you.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Welcome to Sarge Albert Stadium. Getting a little overzealous on us. I've already kicked the ball off, and first play from scrimmage has a flag in it. Our referee tonight, John Dudo, and if Showcase fans are familiar, that was the official that officiated last week's game that had 33 big penalties in it.
So are you telling me we might be here a little bit longer tonight? Is that what you're implying?
I hope that both sides are executing and firing on all cylinders tonight.
Well, if the start of this game is any indication from the referees, they don't want to be here for a long time tonight because, like you said, a little bit overzealous with the start, but here we are, and it's a beautiful night for football.
Penalty was marched off against Central Valley, and then there's another flag down, and it's a sideline warning on Central Valley. We have not an official snap in this football game, and there's been 2 penalties, which is impressive because last week we had a penalty before the kickoff.
You're absolutely right. So far, so good. Let's hope that the odds are in our favor tonight. Whoop. See, I blame you. You're jinxing us right now. We're 3 penalties in. We still haven't had a second snap just yet.
Central Valley gets a false start penalty.
On the Warriors. There'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, and with the penalty coming on the first snap officially, we're still back at first down and 20 now, 25. Shotgun formation for Central Valley. They operate. Braddock Ambrose, junior quarterback, and puts it into the belly of Ethan Shearer, and he gets decked. Bryce Metz, the junior linebacker, makes the tackle for Avonworth, and we got a play in with no laundry.
Hey, not just a play, man. We got a chance to see some beautiful read and reaction. Jackson Cruel, along with Metz right there, getting downhill to get a nice play for that Avonworth defense to start it off.
Ambrose operates from the shotgun and hands it off one more time. And the Powell pushed ahead to the 15-yard line for Shearer.
Hand off up the middle to Ethan Shearer.
Shearer is pulled down, a host of white jerseys in there. Leading the pack, though, Jarius Baker.
And due to some of those self-inflicted penalties early on for Central Valley, now they find themselves in a third and extremely long, not the way that they probably wanted to start tonight, but let's see what obviously Braddock Ambrose can do to maybe mitigate some of this damage.
Nice was on that tackle, by the way. 3rd down and 20. Shotgun for Ambrose. Back to pass. Looks near side. Now over the middle. Got a receiver. It's Lawson. Lawson a first down and more to the 45. Midfield and more. First down. Warriors. A chunk play to get us rolling on 3rd down.
That's going to be good.
Now that is the execution that you want to see right there if you're a Central Valley fan tonight. When you talk about Braddock Ambrose right here, hitting him right in stride, beautiful catch by Aaron Lawson, and then from there you can see the speedster, his ability to change direction, to pick up the big explosive first down, and now you have Central Valley in positive territory.
36 yards on the pass and catch. Ambrose one more time will fire to the far side. It is completed. Hauling in this pass is Antonio Perry, back from injury. He was first game and first action of the season last week in the win at Beaver, and they like him on both sides of the field, including, maybe more importantly, in the secondary.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Perry is a dynamic player, man, that brings some good versatility to the side, to both sides of the ball. But if you're Central Valley tonight, it's really going to start with Braddock Ambrose. When he is playing well, he is a very dynamic dual-threat quarterback. But at the same time, he has to protect the ball, and that's going to be the key for him tonight.
2nd down and 4 after that pickup of 6. They hand it off to Perry. They want to get him the football, and he picks his way across our fake first down line to pick up a fresh set of downs for Central Valley. The junior doing it all himself on that series. And you're talking about Ambrose, Arthur. 42 of 86 coming into tonight. 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and that's the biggest part of this, that Central Valley needs to keep the turnovers at a minimum against this ball-hawking defense of Avonworth as they just duck under the Ambrose. A lot of pressure there.
On the keeper. Brought down
And he
by number
gets a
23,
yard, so second down coming up.
Yeah, and if you saw right there, big number 88, Marco Aurelia, that's the guy for Avonworth that really gets it done for them on defense, and especially when you're talking about creating pressure on that quarterback, leading their team in terms of hurries and sacks right now.
Center for Central Valley is a sophomore, Maddox Skurlak. He's 5'10", 222 pounds. As a look here to this near sideline, Mark Lyons back as head coach of the Warriors as they go to the fade route, and it connects inside the 10-yard line as Makai Ahmed pulls in the pass out at the 7, first and goal Warriors.
And that was a beautiful throw by Braddock Ambrose right there, finding his receiver, Makai Ahmed, putting enough air into the ball and allowing Ahmed to use all 6'2" to go up there and go get that ball right there to now put them in scoring territory. And this is the opening drive, if you're Central Valley, that you were dreaming of right now.
30 yards of the pass and catch. Ambrose is dialed in here. First down and 10, first and goal from the 7, and they go back to the ground game at a great push by that Central Valley offensive line. As this time getting his first carry is Ethan Bosco. He's a freshman, and he's the future of this Warriors squad, and they really like him as a change of pace back.
Absolutely. Not only can Ethan Bosco run the football, but he also makes plays on defense as well. Definitely a talented young player that they're excited to have here.
Little misdirection. They give it off to Shear, and Shear is stacked up. This time a good defensive push. Harrison McAfee on the tackle for Avonworth. And Arthur, so much of this game is going to come down to how it's done in the trenches. Avonworth is just nasty inside defensively, but so far Central Valley packing a punch as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Guys like Timmy McElhaney, you obviously brought up Maddox Scarlett, but when you look at Daniel Leonard, the left tackle, Nolan O'Neal, and Jarius Baker, these guys are winning up front, and as you can see, they pushed him into the end zone for a touchdown for Central Valley right there.
And Bosco's actually rolled down short.
Ooh, short. I like it. I like it.
Fourth down and goal from the 1.
I mean, obviously, if you're Central Valley, you have to make this, you have to go for it on 4th and 1 statement.
Ambrose, full house, push. The piles into the end zone. That means the Warriors have one. Touchdown, Central Valley. Braddock Ambrose calls his own number, and the Warriors strike first.
Beautiful opening drive by Central Valley. Obviously, it didn't start the way that they want to due to some of those penalties, but the explosive pass plays by Braddock Ambrose, the methodical nature, and then when we need it the most on 4th and 1, you look at the guys in the trenches, Central Valley winning. Central Valley getting the grass and ultimately taking the lead 6-0 to start the game off.
Extra point from Tom Pratt is blocked. No good. Avonworth special teams does not let them add the extra. Unabated. Bryce Metz on the block, but Central Valley on the board. 6-0. Warriors, Antelopes. They get the football when we come back on the Steelers Showcase right here on KDKA+.
Turkey's in season at Eaton Park. Whether you're craving it hot, stacked, Pittsburgh style, or served up with all the fixings, we've got you covered. Starting at just $10.99. Add a slice of pumpkin pie to any of these favorites for only $1.99. Only at Eaton Park.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters told the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
At Hello Bistro, we keep it fresh. Fresh flavors, fresh choices, endless ways to build what you're craving. Because food should be as bold as you are. You deserve fresh. Only at Hello Bistro.
Central Valley 6-0 early lead. Time for the Shell kickoff. Shell bringing you kickoffs all season long on our showcase. Shell plant just down the road. Here in Beaver County, in Monaca tonight. And Tom Pratt, Arthur talked about him in the pregame. Getting a lot of looks, going to a lot of these big-time camps. And you see the leg on him. And in high school football, that's imperative. You put that ball in the end zone, there's going to be no return. Let's take a look at the Kelly Automotive Drive summary. 11 plays, 75 yards, 5:25 off the clock. And what you won't see there, Arthur, is it starts with the 1st and 25 on this drive.
I mean, you think about that 1st and 25. I look at that 3rd and 15 that they converted. That was the spark that they needed, though. And then from there, you see Ambrose becoming even more comfortable hitting Ahmed for that deep pass, get them in the red zone, ultimately finishing the drive off for a touchdown. But special teams, we'll see if it comes back to bite them. 6-0.
Special plays, special players already.
Come on now.
Man, who writes these things? Well done, man. Already showing off first quarter action. Hey, Central Valley averages 31 points per game. Avonworth at 36 as we get a first look at their offense. And good carry. Dimitri Velaceres gets the carry, but more impressively was the pop by Aaron Lawson coming down from the safety position.
No, you're absolutely right about that. Aaron Lawson definitely sending a message early on with that hit. But if you're Avonworth, that's an explosive first down run by Dimitri Velaceres.
Carson Bellinger, 44 of 66, has completed 66% of his passes this season, 963 yards, 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. Velaceres one more time to the 40, and he is going to pick him up in chunks. And we got a chance to see Velaceres for the first time 2 years ago as a freshman, and he is really, really impressed. And I think the offers are going to keep trickling in here for him.
No, you're absolutely right. He is a physical runner who also has that breakaway speed, and you should see a heavy dose of him tonight if you're Avonworth. But the other thing that I would say is this. The guy to watch up front, though, big Peter Bonnet, number 74. That's the guy they're going to try to do a lot of their runs behind because of what he's able to do, the Navy commit. And as you can see right there off the left side, another big run.
Velaceres gets that carry, gets decked. Antonio Perry makes the stop for the Warriors. And another look at it on the UPMC Sports Medicine Instant Replay.
Yeah, and they do a good job of getting downhill and creating these one-on-one blocks. But right there you see a nice tackle by Antonio Perry. As we said, a guy for Central Valley that can do it on both sides of the ball. They're going to have to tackle extremely well tonight to ultimately keep Velaceres from having those explosive runs that we're accustomed to seeing from him.
2nd and 7 from the 44. Look to that far sideline. Avonworth 5-0, 1-0 in the conference. Talk more about their schedule to this point. Out of the pistol, another carry. This time it goes to Luca Neal, and Neal has first down yardage into Central Valley territory to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, seeing Luca Neal line up in the backfield, one of those guys that we like to highlight because of his ability to create with the football in his hands. And as you can see right there, more of the time you see him as a receiver, but you can still see that he can tote that rock from the backfield.
Yeah, 21 receptions on the season, 5 receiving touchdowns, the longest going 94 yards. They're just so efficient and can do both things so well. 14 rushing touchdowns on the season for this running back group that you see again. It's Luka Neal picking his way for 11 and another Avonworth Antelope first down.
No, you're absolutely right. But it starts up front when you talk about the big guys, right? I talked about Peter Bonnet, the Navy commit. But you also look at the left guard, Tyler Haney, number 64. You talk about their center, Bradley Hines, Harrison McAfee. These are all the guys that create these running lanes for both of these backs, and that's one of the big things that Avonworth is going to try to lean on tonight.
Stanley McBeam's in the house, and then he got to catch the flight out to Ireland for the game in Dublin.
Stanley's a rock star. He's used to this lifestyle. You know that.
Pistol formation. Another carry for Neal. Neal lowers his shoulder. Neal breaks 2 tackles, and he's thrown out of bounds. But a hard Western PA style run for Luka Neal. 5'10", 190, and the defenders of CB got all of it.
No, you are absolutely right. And you can tell Avonworth on this opening drive, they're trying to send a message that we are more physical than you, Central Valley. They're running up that left side like we talked about, following Peter Bonnet. And as a whole, you see how they're finishing these runs falling forward. Really impressive opening drive by Avonworth.
They haven't 15 yards on that carry from Neal. First down at 10 from the 22-yard line. Velaceris back in, and he'll take the carry, bounce off a few would-be tacklers, picks up another 11 yards. And right now, Avonworth's running backs are averaging like 11 yards a carry. They're getting the first down every time they touch the ball.
And they keep going to the same side, that left side of the offensive line. And that's the beautiful part with Avonworth. When they feel like they have you on the ropes, they will continue to do that until you prove you can stop it. And this is one of the things that now with Velaceris back in, now we're going to see if he can go ahead and finish his drive off and punch it into the end zone.
They put Brendan Alexander on that side of the formation. And they go that side. Velaceris stretching. Ball came loose, recovered, and they'll roll him down at the 1. So before the ball pops out for Dimitri Velaceris, it'll be a first down and goal at the 1. Another look.
And once again, watch the inside run off that left side like we've been saying. And it's really been 2 runs this whole first drive. A regular dive where, like you saw right there, the counter play where they're bringing 2 people back to help them. But everything is off that left side. And now, once again, left side touchdown run.
Yeah, that was easy for Dimitri Velaceris. Touchdown, Avonworth. A 15th rushing touchdown for Avonworth as a whole this season. And Velaceris punches in his 12th of the year.
Yeah, beautiful opening drive by Avonworth right here, just following that left side like we talked about. Velaceris getting downhill with this run, and now this time when he stretches out, he crosses that plane, touchdown. And now let's see if Avonworth can complete the special teams kick.
Sure can.
And now they got the lead.
They now have the lead as they put it through. Avonworth 7, Central Valley 6. 2:29 to go in our opening quarter. Both teams have thrown first-round blows. Come back as we continue on this heavyweight fight in the Steelers High School Showcase.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life. For many years, UPMC has been at the forefront of technology and cutting-edge research.
Published more than any institution in the world with concussion, knee ACL injuries, to the shoulder, to the hip, to all the big joints. Everything is right here that you need. We deliver that right to you.
Did you know you can make your home or building look brand new? For the whole project, or just spot repointing, make your home exterior brand new like when it was built. Call or visit Mariani-Richards.com.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, JBU Life, Giant Eagle, grocery shopping made easy. Master Angelo Hill in Monaca, a must-watch spot for Central Valley fans, and they still got the pool open.
I was about to say, the pool, that right there, beautiful on a homecoming night like tonight. Why aren't you in there watching this type of game? And we
Central
do have a good
Valley
one tonight too.
No doubt. Central Valley's all business tonight.
I like that right there. I mean, anytime it's homecoming, you know we have to be formal.
No doubt. Return here for Perry. Antonio Perry, the junior, just shy of the 30-yard line. Let's take another look at another Kelly Automotive drive summary. 9 plays, 80 yards, 4:01 off the first quarter clock. So Central Valley goes 75 yards. Avonworth says, we can do it in 80, we'll do it in less plays.
And I like the fact that Avonworth said, oh, you think you're more physical? Watch this.
Yeah.
So now let's see how Central Valley responds.
7-6 lead for Avonworth. Back to pass. Ambrose right on the money, in and out of the hands. Perry could not reel it in. And I think Perry was thinking about maybe what celebration he was doing, because it would have been a race for the goal line.
You're absolutely right. Braddock Ambrose did a really good job right here. Seeing the cover 2 coverage with the split safeties, hitting his receiver right in the hands. That's one of those plays you just got to make. And in a game like tonight, you don't want to give up those type of plays because you never know when it could come back to bite you.
Second down, 10. A flag is down. Haven't had one of those in a minute. It's going to be against the Warriors, a false start penalty. Question on that. Avonworth's been beat a couple times over the middle so far. What do you do defensively with the cover 2, or what do you change to combat that? Central Valley knows that that's been working for them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But this is the thing. Every defense has a weakness. So for cover 2, you're protecting against those perimeter throws where you saw Central Valley have success, but the downside is the middle of the field. Now you switch the coverage up. You close that part, but now you open right back up to what they got beat on at the start. So this is their initial adjustment, and let's see if they can ultimately hold off enough to make this work for them.
Ethan Scheer, one of the Warrior captains on that carry. And another look at the UPMC Sports Medicine instant replay.
Yeah, nice running by him right there to ultimately put them in a third and manageable. But obviously we know how this drive started with the big drop. Let's see if they can ultimately make that right on this here third down.
Third down at 3 it is. Opponents convert third down at 37%, and Central Valley is 100% tonight, finding Antonio Perry for a first down.
And this is what I love to see as a former player. When you see a guy have a big mistake or a big drop, don't ostracize him. Come back to him. Give him another opportunity, because anybody that's a Central Valley fan knows Antonio Perry is somebody that they're going to need to play big tonight if they want to be victorious on homecoming.
First and 10 for the Warriors. Their drive continues from their own 41. Blitz coming. Play action, in trouble is Ambrose, and he could not get away as everybody was coming from the sides. It was leading the pack, Jackson Krull.
Well, you asked, how do you prevent the middle of the field being exposed? Well, when you create pressure like this from Luka Neal and Jackson Krull before your quarterback even gets a chance to drop back, that is the best pass coverage. A great pass rush.
No doubt. And that makes it a 2nd and 16. Central Valley's enjoyed, maybe they've done well, but they've played a lot behind the sticks in these early goings with 35 ticks to go here in the first. And they go back to the fade route and overcooked, incomplete, trying to hook up again with Makai Ahmed. That play worked earlier in this ball game last drive, but this time well overthrown.
Yeah, they're the captain for Avonworth, Cooper Sharding, did a really good job right there staying on top of that route and forcing the extreme overthrow. But that's one of those things, if you are Central Valley, you feel like you can have success passing against this Avonworth defense, and as long as they can execute these, they'll be able to stay in this game and keep it competitive.
Can they convert again on a 3rd and long? 3rd and 16 from the 35. Ambrose with pressure. Here it comes. He spins away from one, but can't, as the spin brings his momentum down, and he'll go down for a sack on the play way back at the 22-yard line.
And that's the relentless pursuit right there from number 88, Marco Aurelia. As we said earlier, when it comes to creating pressure, that is the guy for this Avonworth defense up front. The relentless pursuit ultimately spins out Braddock, and then from there gets him down, forcing the punt right here. This is what you want to see if you are that Avonworth defense.
4th down and a timeout. We'll burn one as well. 1-point ball game. Oh, no, it's the end of the quarter. Either way, we're taking a break. Steelers High School Showcase rolls on after this here at KDK Plus.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh Sideline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons,
primary care sports medicine physicians,
board-certified physical therapists, a comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion,
nutrition,
athletic training,
sports performance.
Everything is right here that you need. We deliver that right to you.
We're back in Monaca, PA. Avonworth has the 7-6 lead over Central Valley. I am here with former Steelers linebacker Ryan Shazier. So we're talking high school football. You played in Florida, Plantation High School. What do you think has changed in the high school game since you played?
I could definitely say that nowadays you're seeing a lot more passing in high school football. Well, today we've seen a lot of running with, Avonworth, but I feel it's a lot more passing. It's a lot more spread. When I played, it was a lot more pro style and wing T type of offenses. So that's the thing that I've noticed so far.
What about the players' mindsets? I don't know if you've been around them enough to know, but how do you think mindsets, game IQ maybe has changed since back in the day?
I definitely feel like the mindset is the same. Guys really still care about the game a lot. They want to make sure that they can do what they can to win. They want to lean on their brothers, and that's what football is all about. The one thing I can say, when it comes to just the understanding of the game, I understand that overall the game has been getting simpler, so it's making it a lot easier for guys to play and understand it, but that also takes people's IQ down a little bit. So guys that actually know what they're doing and have a good IQ of the game, they're light years ahead of other guys.
Yeah, information certainly easily accessible now. Your guys in Ireland this weekend, I know you never got to play internationally, but what do you think the professional players think about getting to play those international games?
So I don't know what guys think, but I know I would definitely love the opportunity to play international. I'm a guy that loves to be in the spotlight, especially when it came to playing football, because only so many people can watch you at a time. But when you're international, you have the whole world watching you. And I know that the guys are going to have a great time over there. They get to play in a different culture, have different fans, have a different atmosphere. So I know for me, that will be such an amazing experience. So I know, like for TJ, Kim, those guys that are in that game, they're going to definitely love it out there.
Routine has to change just a little bit, though, right?
Yeah, your routine definitely has to change because your food is going to be different. You might not have the same people cooking for you. Your routine is going to be different. Like, they're going to be playing a game at 9:30 Eastern. I still don't even know what time it is going to be over there. So I know that their routine and the way their sleep habits, everything's going to be a little bit off.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, Ryan.
No, thank you.
Back to you guys.
Allie, thank you, and thanks to Ryan Shazier for hanging out with us on a Friday night. Valdesaris, after that 44-yard punt, goes back to work on the ground, and he'll pick up another 8. And it's steady going and a steady dose of that Avonworth running attack, Arthur.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And continuing with the theme of that first drive off of the left side, until Central Valley shows that they can't stand up to that left side of the line, Avonworth's going to keep running that ball that way. And it's hard to blame them, honestly, because of the success they're having.
Sure.
Whether it's been Luca Neal or Dimitri Velisaris, these guys are picking up 7-8 yards a pop. Why would you go away from it?
It's a pretty good offensive strategy to me. Bellinger, he'll test the arm, and Bellinger completes it for 6. Touchdown, Avonworth. Jaden Jones. JJ with the TD for the Lopes.
Of course, if you're going to go away from running the football, you throw the touchdown pass to Jaden Jones. That's always the simpler way. And obviously, when you're talking about explosive touchdown plays right here, this is what you want to see. You can see and feel the excitement on that Avonworth sideline right now.
59 yards on the pass and catch. Bellinger dialing one up. Extra point. Carter Mahan through the poles it good. 10:59 to the second. Avonworth has struck twice, and they have a 14-6 lead against their rivals from Beaver County. Steelers High School Showcase presented by Giant Eagle and the Post-Gazette. Back after this.
I think this is a model institution. You are a point of pride here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You understand that going to college is also about what you do after college and making sure you are arming your students with the opportunity to have the skills they need to go out and chart their own path to success in their futures.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles, we build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
College isn't for everyone, but from pay to training to retirement, Pennsylvania Laborers Union members live better. PA Laborers Union offers a great wage potential of $42 per hour and terrific health benefits. Imagine having 0 student loans while receiving state-of-the-art construction training. Join the team and get mentorship and guidance from experienced members. Go now to laborparecruit.com for more information.
To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons,
Primary care sports medicine physicians,
Board-certified physical therapists, a comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion,
nutrition,
athletic training,
sports performance.
Everything is right here that you need. So we deliver that right to you.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Herc Rentals, Kelly Automotive, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Beautiful look at Sarge Albert Stadium. Our aerial coverage tonight brought to you by GBU Life. Protect what matters now. 14-6, Avonworth, undefeated at 5-0, has the advantage over against 2-3 Central Valley. They squib kick, it pops up into the air, picked up at the 15-yard line and decked at the 16. Great coverage there, but that stayed up forever for a parry as Central Valley takes over. We're going to take another look at this touchdown pass, Arthur.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, we obviously see right here Jaden Jones for the touchdown, but what I like the most is this group right here. Let's play this play and watch this offensive line and how they protect. You can't have these long, deep passing plays without having protection up front. They do their job. That opens up the window for Jaden Jones to make this explosive play and get a nice touchdown to give them a nice, comfortable lead to start this game off.
That was Bellinger's first attempted pass of the football game. He is 1 for 1 for 59 yards and a touchdown. As we go back to the ground game for Central Valley, it's Ethan Shear to the 20.
And if you're Central Valley, you can just see how one drop, how it changes the flow of the game. They had Antonio Perry over there last series. Would have been a beautiful, 50-yard touchdown if he catches it and just keeps running. Unfortunately, he drops it. We see how the rest of the drive goes. Punt, give up explosive touchdown. Now here we are again. So let's see if they can ultimately correct some of those little issues that they're showing, because they're moving the ball well at times.
Spinning forward is Shear. He gets pulled down. Jackson Kroll on the stop. The senior makes the tackle. Third down again coming up here for Central Valley. It's more of a manageable one. 3rd and 5. They're 3 of 4 on third down conversions to this point in the ball game.
And this is a big opportunity for Central Valley, mainly because of the momentum is starting to feel like it's getting in Avonworth's side right now. So if they could pick up this first down and extend their drive a little bit, that could cool off some of that Avonworth offensive steam they're on.
Ambrose, a short pass that is skipped too short, incomplete, and it's 4th down, intended for Lawson. Could not elevate that one. And, you know, Mark Lyons is high on his quarterback, junior Braddock Ambrose, first-year starter, and one of those guys where he said, you know, he didn't get the schedule. Organizers of the WPIAL didn't do Central Valley any favors this year, playing the likes of Thomas Jefferson, getting things kicked off of, this season. Montour, TJ, and Bell Vernon were their first 3 games of the year. Punt away for Perry. Fielded from the 49. Shrugs off 2 to Sharding. And Sharding finally is bottled up. And that was almost a competition for how long he could stay standing before the whistles.
No,
wasn't getting any yardage, but
you're absolutely right. But going back to that Central Valley team, I mean, when you talk about some of the adversity that they've had to overcome this season, especially early on with how their season started off with that scheduling, this is a part of their momentum in terms of them getting back on the upswing. Going 2-0 these past couple of weeks, you hope that they can carry some of that momentum tonight. But this is a tough test when you're talking about Avonworth.
No doubt, and it's how it played out a season ago. 0-3 to start. They win 2 games. They lose this game at Avonworth a season ago, but still found their way to the WPIAL championship against these very same Antelopes. And there's some penetration, and who was causing it? None other than Central Valley's Brendan Alexander, as he was able to break free and dump Belisaris for a loss.
Yeah, Brendan Alexander was one of those guys we highlighted at the beginning of the game as a key player, and as you can see right there, the athleticism. If you don't put 2 hands on this guy and stick with him, he can make every single play in the backfield just like that. Nice job, and that's why he's one of the top recruits on this field tonight.
4th down, or 2nd down and 12. Ball at the 46-yard line. Bellinger on a jet motion, gives it away to Luca Neal, and the containment by the Central Valley defense. Everybody stand at home. Ethan Shear was the first one on the scene.
And that was a nice pop by Ethan Shear. He's one of their lead guys on defense, and you can see the physicality that he plays with, ultimately keeping that Avonworth offense contained and not allowing them to the perimeter. But I'm surprised a little bit that Avonworth hasn't went back to that left side rushing attack. It's almost as if that touchdown pass made them forget what gave them success those first 2 drives.
Yeah, a little amnesia, but it was the lulling to sleep of the Central Valley defense, all of those run plays in a row before the first pass play. Now here's another one. Bellinger tipped into the air, and it goes incomplete. No one in the vicinity, but again, Alexander getting those big paws in the passing lane.
You're absolutely right. You heard us talk about him, and if you're Central Valley, that's one of those guys we want to hear his name a lot because he is one of their most productive players on both sides of the field. But when you see him on defense, you watch him, he's in his element. Big man getting 2 hands up, forcing the incompletion, and now you have Avonworth in a long 4th down situation.
4th down it is, 4th and 9 from the 43. Look to that far side boundary. Motion man is Metz, and there's some movement. And it got a wince and a whine out of this home crowd. And it's an encroachment penalty on Central Valley, and that explains it.
There'll be a 5-yard penalty.
And that's been a little bit of a theme for Central Valley, self-inflicted. You talk about that opening drive, they had those pre-snap penalties, ultimately putting them in the behind-the-stick scenario. And now here it is showing up on defense. You take them from a 4th and long to now a little bit more 4th and manageable with how explosive this Avonworth offense has been tonight.
4th and 5. Ball at the 39-yard line. Pistol formation for Bellinger and whistles Central Valley's Mark Lyons wants to burn a timeout. And he is frustrated with somebody that isn't his team. He's talking with the officials right now. And they'll talk things over, but, talking about Mark Lyons, he's a lifelong resident of Monaca, grew up playing for the Monaca Indians, of course, a part of this merger of Monaca and Center, gets named the head coach in the first year, takes the team to the WPIAL, wins the WPIAL championship. Really Disney movie-like that the two teams that end up converging and end up becoming a WPIAL championship. Now we'll just take a look at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette power rankings here in 3A. Avonworth at number 1, of course 5-0. You saw Amati and North Catholic, they're battling it out earlier tonight. So,
I mean, this is a loaded 3A right here. I mean, when we talk about the top 5 teams all being undefeated, all having somebody, they were like, hey, you seen that guy right there? Hey, that guy can make plays on both sides of the field. This is why 3A is so competitive and why it's such an exciting time for us to be able to call some of these games.
Southmoreland, the Scott A's of Southmoreland, 5-0 for the first time since their program's inception. Their first year they were 5-0. Now Scotty's 5-0 once again. 4th down at 5. They go Wildcat formation, and carrying for the first down is Luca Neal, who just needed, he got an extra yard than he needed and picks up a fresh set of downs.
And to no surprise, when they had to have it, which way did they go? Left side of that line, man. We talk about Peter Bonnet and company. That's where they feel the most confident. Here you go right here. You see those big guys up front moving people out the way. Big 88 Marco or Leah. And that's what you want to see if you're Avonworth. Winning the line of scrimmage, continuing that, and ultimately putting them in position now to get into that high red zone area.
Finishing this thought on Mark Lyons in his 16th season here at Central Valley, but in his 39th year as a coach, 28th as a head coach, as Velaceris gets the call inside the 30. It'll be 2nd down and 4, picks up 6, maybe 7 on that first down carry. And get this, Arthur, overall record for Lions, 226 and 109. And here at Central Valley, 153 and 44.
You talk about a guy that knows how to win. That's Mark Lyons, and not just when you're talking about from the Whipple area, but even when you're talking about competing for state championships. He's one of those guys that can lead them, and that's why they feel so confident in what they're bringing over here every week.
50% in championships, won 2 of 4 in the state titles, won 5 of 10 appearances in the WPIAL championship. Velaceris gets the carry, turns the corner. Velaceris, a tightrope, and he's inside the 15, down to about the 12.
Yeah, I was going to say it's hard to not get excited about what Mark Lyons is doing here at Central Valley. But, of course, if you're an Avonworth fan, you're like, hey, we got our guy as well in Duke Johncourt and what he's been able to bring to that program over there at Avonworth as well.
Yeah, Duke Johncourt has done a fantastic job. He's in his 15th season at Avonworth. He's made the postseason 13 of 14 years, only missed in
impressive.
2020 where it was a abbreviated and shortened playoff. As Velaceris bounces to the outside and pulled down by the shoelaces inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and about a yard for Avonworth, who is working on a 14-6 advantage and trying to add to it.
I mean, when you watch the way that they can run this football, this is why they were able to beat a Hopewell team 48-14. They could put 40 points on a Thomas Jefferson. They could beat an Aliquippa team convincingly. They are physical in the trenches. And if you can't match that, as you can see right here, they will methodically work down the field, calling the same play over and over and over again.
Yeah, they have done some impressive work this season, 5-0, and Velas, no, it's going to go to Neal. Neal stopped short of the goal line to the 1, but it's a fresh set of downs. So first down and goal for Avonworth.
And if you're Central Valley defensively, at some point you start asking yourself, when do we start making adjustments, whether that's pressuring, whether that's adding an extra D lineman to kind of combat this physical approach that we're seeing from Avonworth, because they are being able to run the football way too successful tonight.
Bellinger from the pistol. Belisarius denied. Second effort. Touchdown. Avonworth. Dimitri Belisarius for the second time tonight. The 13th of the season for 34 in red and white.
And that was really impressive right there, because he definitely was met in that backfield. But when you talk about how physical this kid is, you talk about him keeping his legs always moving, even when it's contact, that's why he's so tough to bring down, and that's why Avonworth is really appreciative of what he brings to the table. But right here, you see him hit 2 yards in the backfield, but it doesn't matter. Finds a way to extend that ball across the line, or across the goal line, and ultimately now you look at Avonworth expanding that lead to 2 scores.
The Avonworth Antelopes 21.
Extra point is through the poles and good. Avonworth up 21-6 over Central Valley. We're back on the showcase on KDK Plus.
Have a nice day, family.
What would they do without me?
Can someone fix my hair?
Must have cheesy eggs.
I can't find my keys.
No, annoying! Never! I'm the king of
Oh, I need some help.
I better get more life insurance.
You're irreplaceable, but a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide your family with the resources for a well-planned future. Visit gbu.org to get started.
Fall is in the air at Pittsburgh's premier outdoor shopping, dining, and play destination, the Waterfront. Find fall weather gear at retailers like Old Navy, DSW, and Rally House. Dine at family-friendly restaurants like Primanti Brothers, Shorty's Tap and Taco, and more. Experience indoor playtime at Dave & Buster's, Urban Air, and more. Speaking of play, the Waterfront is a proud sponsor of this Steel City High School football broadcast and happy to support WPIAL football across our region. Visit us at waterfrontpgh.com for more information.
Welcome to La Roche University, where experience isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
At La Roche, our students thrive by putting their ideas into action.
So we came in today just kind of getting a general idea of valuing a model and how it is done in actual real-life time.
I think what they're doing in La Roche with the applied learning has a lot of value for the students. They're able to see the real-world numbers come to life, and that has a lot of impact for them.
La Roche University, engaging minds, embracing the world.
Quiet on set? No way. This is Jake's time to shine, and Ryan's, and our crew. Cameras, check. Drones, check. Checking that shot we just checked? Double check. We ain't got time to chill. We're out here capturing this action. This is when we get to work, to bring you every moment live, no matter what. Broadcasting changes everything. Transform how you experience the game with JRM Video Production.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Shell, Panera Bread, Laway Enterprises, promotional products and apparel. You know, for the Steelers High School Football Showcase, it's always lit. It's lit here at Central Valley, too.
Man, beautiful, beautiful logo right there, man. They know how to do it over here. I'll tell you that.
They really do. Sarge Albert Stadium, the site of our Steelers Showcase, in another squib kick. And Avonworth's doing a great job making that matter, as they will be short of the 20 again to start this drive. And let's check downstairs. Allie Cohen downstairs.
You see what this team can do on the field. Faith and family are two very important values for Coach John Core, and he carries that into the program. His father, Barry, also a longtime coach, still coaching at 83 years old. He's in the press box for the games. Barry has been involved in some capacity at Avonworth since 2001. Duke's son, Derek, he's a biology teacher at Avonworth and the quarterback's coach because family is so important to him. He utilizes his time wisely while the coaches talk all the time, and after every practice, there are no 5-hour coach meetings. That time is for them to be with their family. One tradition the team does have, a team dinner every Thursday after practice before game day on Friday. Guys?
Thanks, Allie. Yeah, Barry Joncourt, you mentioned, 83 years old. He was the head coach for 16 years at Churchill High School and then became part of the Woodland Hills School District. The last quarterback at Churchill High School was Duke Joncourt. The last head coach at Churchill High School, Barry Joncourt. Little father-son combination. And they moved on to Woodland Hills. They were the first tandem there. Barry played at West Texas A&M at quarterback.
I like that there, man. You talk about a family that knows how to get it done on the gridiron, both from the on-field and from the coaching perspective. That's what you love to see.
Certainly do. Third down at 6 from the 22 now after 2 short runs here for Central Valley. They're faced with another third down. Can they convert? Ambrose steps up with pressure colliding on him, and he goes down. Sacked again. His pressure from Avonworth is daunting.
You're absolutely right. And for Braddock, he had a chance in terms of holding that ball a little bit. But when you talk about the relentless pursuit from Avonworth, number 23, Bryce Metz, just watch how he continues to fight through the pressure. And then from there, the closing speed. Getting the sack right here and ultimately forcing another fourth down and punting situation for Central Valley.
Antonio Perry back to punt. Mentioned his return last week against Beaver and a timeout taken here. Avonworth calls the timeout on a 4th down at 7 as Perry will go back to punt. Avonworth starts 5-0 this season. They win over Burrell 35-6, beat West Mifflin 44-7, beat Aliquippa at Aliquippa 23-7. Then they beat TJ 41-14 before beating Hopewell last week 48-14. Here's the Western Hills Conference standings. You see North Catholic, Central Valley, Avonworth all undefeated in conference play to this point. And we mentioned North Catholic playing Amani Christian, another out-of-conference opponent. But Hopewell still has a chance to make some noise. James Boo Boo Armstrong, their quarterback, has been impressive. I think the Vikings might be a year away, though.
No, I agree with you on that. And once again, you could just see how, even with the Avonworth, there's still other competition within that division right there. But that's the beauty of Friday Night Lights, right? We get a chance to see these storylines play out each and every time.
Flag is down after this punt by Perry.
Perry's kick is touchdown at the
45-yard line.
Check
with our referee, John Dudo. Umpire is Michael Bruno. Brian Mickish is the head linesman. Ron Churchin, the line judge. Drew Floria is the side judge. And Ryan Marchoni is the back judge.
And I have to commend them. Early on, I was concerned when we had 3 penalties before we had a first snap. But now it's kind of settled in. So we appreciate you officials tonight. We appreciate they're doing good.
They would say is congratulate the teams, right? They're playing clean.
Absolutely.
No, the job that is a PIAA official, it is a tip of the cap to the people that we can't have high school sports without them.
And regardless of how well they do their job, they know half of the stadium is never going to like them.
That's it. You go home knowing that someone's blaming you for the loss.
Those referees, I knew it was on them. Oh, man, who's paying you guys?
Yep. It never ends, right? But a tip of the cap to the Zebras each and every night.
Absolutely. All these things that take place to make these games go as smoothly as possible.
Emphasis on that. 1st and 10. Bellinger and the Lope offense back to work and made quick work of that last score. And Central Valley jumped out to a 6-0 lead. Bouncing out as Velaceris gets the edge and gets tripped up.
Velaceris on the carry. Brought down by number 9.
It's Lawson on the tackle.
And Velaceris continues to impress. You watch his ability to not just make a defender miss, but burst in the open field. And what I will say is this, even though it was an explosive game, Aaron Lawson has been doing a really good job of getting that ball on the ground tonight, tackling from that safety position.
Central Valley.
Timeout for Central Valley. They decide to burn one here on a second down and 1, 3:11 to go before we send it to the Shell halftime show. Breakdown and a look at all of the WPIAL action. Speaking of, there is a lot of great WPIAL action tonight. Let's take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. Upper St. Clair leads Peters Township 10-3. That game in the playoffs, there was not an offensive or defensive touchdown. It was one special teams touchdown. The difference. North Catholic has jumped out in front of Amani. Newcastle, 6-0. Damon picked the Hurricanes to upset the Quips. No score, Central Catholic NA. TJ leads it 7-3. Clarendon all over Jeanette. What stands out to you?
Well, obviously, when I'm looking at Upper St. Clair and Peters Township, as you said last year, 0 offensive or defensive scores. So the fact that that's happening right now, it's like, whoa, what did we miss? But definitely excited about that. And, of course, Aliquippa and Newcastle. Got to keep an eye out on that one.
No question, it would be a big night at Taggart Stadium for that one. Flag down.
You see what happens when we talk nicely about officiating? We talked about, oh, it's not a lot of penalties. Now we're kind of in this lull again.
And you know, from a coaching standpoint, they're pulling their hair out when there's a penalty out of a timeout.
Because every time out, you're supposed to talk through all the little details, all the minutia, and when you get out here, the first play out of the timeout should look the best typically. But when you see a pre-snap penalty or another issue, it's very, very frustrating.
Elvisaris bouncing off a few, and Lawson again. You love to see a member of the secondary and high school that loves contact.
Now, you're absolutely right. These past couple of runs, Aaron Lawson has met Dimitri Velisaris. And we remember at the beginning of the game, the big hit was Aaron Lawson on him right there. So let's see if he can be one of those guys to ultimately provide that spark for Central Valley defensively tonight.
Velisaris one more time inside the 40. Finally wrapped up. Adam Sherrodes on the tackle for the Warriors. They're not in a hurry. They're up 21-6. They know they could score as quickly as they'd like to. Here's another look at the run.
And Avonworth is taking this methodical approach, and rightfully so. When you feel like you can run the football on teams, it gives you so much confidence and opens up so much more. As you saw, when they finally did decide to throw it, first pass they throw, explosive play, touchdown.
See what they do here on 1st and 10 for the 39. Mets in motion. Bellinger, play action. Pump fakes, surveys, rolls, fires on the money. Caught by Mets. And officials want to talk about it. That's a catch. Catch by Mets for an Avonworth first down. And this was a dime by Bellinger.
You talk about the pump fake, feeling a little bit of pressure, rolling to his right, but keeps his eyes downfield, throws a beautiful strike to Metz, who does a nice job of not just catching the football, but also make sure he gets a foot in bounds to make it a completion. Nice execution.
1st and 10 from the 28. A look to that far sideline. Pistol formation and keeping is Bellinger. He broke one tackle, and then Lawson arrives, and then help arrives.
Yeah, Lawson and that Central Valley defense not fooled right there by the QB run. And if you're Avonworth, I don't think you want to see a lot of that taking place tonight in terms of Bellinger taking those hits when you have a Dimitri Velisaris and a Luca Neal that you can hand that ball off to.
Avonworth takes the timeout as we take time to take another look. Almost got our camera operator on that option play. First time he's kept the football.
But really nice read and reaction right there by number 9, Aaron Lawson. Being patient, sticking with his keys, and that's what it's all about when you talk about zone read or RPO type of plays. If you're on defense, you're supposed to see what you're supposed to see and trust that the guy next to you is going to do his job as well. And that's what you saw right there being executed at a very high level by that Central Valley defense.
Avonworth burns a timeout. Great crowd on hand. Homecoming night here at Central Valley. Beautiful Friday night in late September.
I mean, where else would you want to be on a Friday night if you're out here, right? A homecoming game, a competitive game. So far, so good.
Yes.
We'll see if obviously Central Valley can add a little bit more spice to this and keep it a little bit closer going into halftime. But for the most part, this has been a fun time.
And this is put up or shut up time for Central Valley. Want to stay in this football game, 2-score game. You don't want to go down 3 scores late in this half. Central Valley can hand the keys over to Avonworth in this second half if they could punch another score in here. Neal in motion, Bellinger to pass. Screen pass, almost broken up, but ended up finding Luca Neal, who was a yard shy of the sticks.
I mean, you talk about it being a game of inches. That right there, you look at this replay. Carson Bellinger barely out the outstretched hands of Adam Schroeds, but ultimately Luca Neal picks up the first down and now has them really knocking on that door.
Another great aerial shot from our friends at GBU Life. 3rd down at 2. Screen pass one more time. Shrug off one and walk into the end zone. Touchdown Avonworth. Jaden Jones. Twice is just as nice.
And that's beautiful execution right there by Avonworth offensively. That's what you want to see. Obviously, the young sophomore Jaden Jones finding his way into the end zone for the second time tonight, and Carson Bellinger delivering the strike. But if you're Avonworth, this is what you want to see right here. Excitement from the young guys. And when you look at the coverage, starts up front, good protection. But when you have a missed tackle on the perimeter versus a guy like Jaden Jones, that's the difference between it being a 7-yard completion and an explosive touchdown.
And that one is partially blocked, no good. So it'll be 27-6. Avonworth leading Central Valley in another look.
Yeah, but like you said, it starts up front. Good protection versus the pressure. Then after the catch, a missed tackle on the perimeter. And Jaden Jones is too fast even for the chasing Brendan Alexander. And nice touchdown for Avonworth, and that puts them in command prior to halftime.
Jaden Jones is just a sophomore. Bad news for the conference, as it was much of the early points of this year, it was Luca Neal doing the damage. Jones came into tonight just 2 touchdowns. He's duplicated that here tonight, and that's kind of what Bill Cherpak said. It was like we were double-teaming Luca Neal, and we said, where did this guy come from?
You're absolutely right, and that's the beautiful part with Avonworth. As you heard me say earlier, they can beat you in so many ways. Yeah. We talk about the physical running nature of Dimitri Valaceres, but then we put Luca Neal in the backfield. But now when you talk about Luca Neal from the receiving standpoint, and then you introduce Jaden Jones, it's pick your poison, and that's what makes them such a tough team to deal with right now.
Oh, man, it doesn't get easier for Central Valley as this one goes off of the fingertips and out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So Central Valley backs against the goalpost as we take a look at the Kelly Automotive Drive recap. 7 plays, 53 yards, 2:47 off the second quarter clock. 3-score game for the Lopes.
Now you got an extreme backed up situation, less than a minute, but obviously if you're Avonworth defensively, how aggressive are you feeling right now? Because you could really put this game to rest if you create a turnover right here or even a defensive score.
GBU Life bringing you our aerial coverage all season long. GBU Life, protect what matters now. And a conservative run play that gets bounced to the outside. A first down and more across the 20 to the 23-yard line. And how about Aaron Lawson saying, how's this for conservative? There is a flag down way on the other side of the field at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, not exactly sure what that flag is, but when you talk about Aaron Lawson, definitely one of those guys that you want to see out there because he's not only making plays defensively with his physicality, but you also could see him running that football, being an explosive playmaker for them as well. And here, let's take another look at this real quick. You see Aaron Lawson getting a little bit stuck in the middle, but keeps his legs running, and then from there bounces out the back door. Explosive play, and that's what you want to see for Central Valley, and hopefully they'll be able to carry that momentum to finish this half.
That was a 21-yard pickup.
Timeout.
And a timeout by Avonworth. So Avonworth burns a timeout, 41 ticks to go here in the first half. Central Valley see what the play call is here with just a few seconds to go. And reminder to follow us, the Steelers Youth Football and JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube for exclusive content, real-time highlights, and on-demand broadcasts. All there on Steelers Youth Football and the JRM Sports social media accounts. And make sure you're following Arthur Moats on all his socials.
Well, hey, you know, I appreciate you for that. At TheBody52 or Arthur Moats, wherever you want to find me at, and that includes YouTube.
And it's either Matt Fargo or Who Is Matt Fargo, depending on your account.
I mean, I think he's a rock star personally.
I don't know.
You know, one of those
Depends,
Emmy guys.
Honestly, it depends on who you ask.
One of those award-winning guys. That's when I speak of him, that's how I talk about the guy.
Carry up the middle and forward progress. She's bogged down. Was Lawson.
Now
to
I
the
get
29-yard line.
And I get they just had the explosive run, but I was a little bit let down by that call right there.
Yeah.
I thought that they were followed up by another, you know, explosive play, at least attempting explosive pass play with them having a single timeout remaining. But it almost is like they're just content minimizing the damage and getting out the half.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the final play of the half, with Avonworth leading it 27-6 at the break. Lopes have not been in a contest this season. And let's go down to Allie Cohen on the sidelines.
Here with head coach, Avonworth head coach Duke Johncourt. Jaden Jones, a missed tackle on him. He takes advantage, giving you guys the big lead at half. What's your message in that locker room?
Jaden did a great job. I mean, we're happy to be 27-6. That's a great first half for us. They had a nice first drive where we made some pass coverage mistakes, but we'll take it. Great first half.
Any adjustments in the second half for you guys?
We're excited to get the ball. No adjustments. We're pretty happy with where we're at.
Yeah, I'd say so. You went for it on fourth down early on. Is that a normal strategy for you guys?
We got the offsides penalty, so yeah, we took advantage of that, 4th and 4. So not typically. We would have punted if they had not jumped.
Gotcha. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Allie. Thanks, Coach. And one half of football here on our Steelers High School Showcase is in the books. Coming up next is the Shell halftime report, and that is the Shell Cracker Plan. And Allie Cohen and Damon McDermott will not be doing the show from there. They'll be doing it from here at Central Valley, and they'll be doing it here on KDKA+. Stick around. More from Central Valley, 27-6. Lopes on top of the Warriors. We'll be back with our halftime show after these words.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
Relive your favorite moments at the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Honor Museum.
They really wore that back then, Grandpa?
Yeah, they really did.
Playing back then was tough, believe me.
Now this is the best era. Nobody could beat that dynasty.
I couldn't agree more. Those teams were unstoppable.
Now, I don't know about that, but the team was really good in the 90s.
Come on, you couldn't catch those teams of the 2000s. They went the distance, literally.
That's what I'm talking about! Yes!
The 70s are definitely the best.
Hey, the 2000s, hands down.
Whoa, guys, stop fighting. I think every era was pretty sweet.
You said it, kid. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and I hope to see you back here soon.
Wait, your T?
Seems like a nice spot.
Welcome back to Sarge Albert Stadium, to the Shell halftime show. I'm Allie Cohen. This is Damon McDermott. Avonworth on top over Central Valley, 27-6. We talked about this early on. It was going to be a tough one for Central Valley. Coach Mark Lyons saying they have to defend every blade of glass, every blade of grass. And it just showed. They were killing it on both sides of the ball, all cylinders. And we can see why they're 5-0 right now.
Yeah, I mean, Avonworth's one of those teams, if you commit penalties, which Central Valley unfortunately did, if you can't convert on your third downs, and there's been some drops. I mean, Avonworth, they scored on every drive. They showed you a little bit they can run the ball. One drive, they didn't throw one passing play. You lulled the defense asleep. And then we figured out who Jaden Jones was. He had 2 touchdowns we'll see in the highlights, but you thought, okay, we're going to stop the run. And then they start throwing the ball all over you. It's just one of these teams. They can just do everything so well, and you can see why they're 5-0 and the best team in the state.
So when you look at Central Valley, what do you think Coach Lyons is saying? If you're the coach in there, what are you saying at half?
Again, you got to convert on third downs. You got to keep the ball in your hands, and then it's so hard because, again, they run the ball so well, and then they can throw it on you. But just try to make some big plays on defense. You need a couple tackles for loss, and what Avonworth is doing is their pass rush. They have 3 sacks. Central Valley has none. You just got to find a way to kind of disrupt that offense and make sure they're not on schedule.
So is there a way for Central Valley to get back in this game?
Absolutely. They're talented enough. We saw that first drive. They went right down the field. After that, I feel like they're so worried what Avonworth is doing at all times. Just do everything you can to execute for yourself, and you can try to get back in this game one play at a time. You can't look ahead. You're down by 19. So, again, execute where you can. Try to replicate that first drive and get right back in this game.
Yeah, Avonworth trying to rain on the homecoming parade here in Monaca, PA. Lots more to get to on this one. But first, we're going to get to tonight's Jerome Bettis Leadership Award. West Green's Colin White with the Week 4 honor, the senior captain, lineman, and wrestler, not only gets it done on the field and the mat, but doing the important work off the field as well, working with youth programs, participating in blood drives and food drives, in the running for valedictorian, and the confidant for all of his teammates and friends. Congrats, Colin. You can head to Steelers.com/youth to nominate your picks. Well, some of the best collegiate and pro talent has been a product of WPIAL Sports, of course, including from right here at Central Valley. Richie Walsh has more in our Drafted series.
Drafted, Western PA to the NFL, presented by UPMC. Number 35, Jordan Whitehead.
Jordan Whitehead was one of the most electric football players to ever step foot on a football field in Western Pennsylvania. Whitehead stood out since his freshman year at Central Valley High School, destined to be a star, leading the Warriors to a WPIAL title in 2014. Whitehead wasn't just a football player, he also excelled on the track and on the stage, taking part in the high school senior play. Whitehead took his talents to Pitt, and just like in high school, made an impact right away, starting 12 games his freshman year, playing both sides of the ball, named ACC Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year. Whitehead was a rising star for the Panthers, eventually foregoing his senior year to enter the NFL draft, which turned out to be a good decision. Whitehead was selected by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 4th round of the 2018 NFL draft, and by week 8 of his rookie season, Whitehead was the Bucs' starting safety. Never looked back, helping Tampa win a Super Bowl in 2021. He spent his first 4 seasons in Tampa before jetting to New York. And on October 2nd, Whitehead got his first interception for the Jets off Kenny Pickett's first career pass attempt. He had a knack for finding the ball during his career. In week 1 of the 23 season, Whitehead intercepted Josh Allen 3 times. Whitehead has 11 interceptions in 6 NFL seasons. He is also the cousin of Pro Football Hall of Famer Darrelle Revis.
house is just 4 walls, but a home, that's something more. At Your Town Realty, we don't just work here, we live here. We're small by choice, with deep roots in real relationships that go beyond transactions. And because this city means so much to us, we give back, year after year. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the one that feels like home. Your Town Realty, locally owned, community grown.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Pace Arena like never before. PPG Pace Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters called the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpacearena.com and book your tour today.
At Octane Customs, we take pride in helping our local businesses make an impact. We don't just wrap vehicles. We build moving billboards that get your business noticed. From bold designs to expert installation, our 3M certified team delivers quality you can trust every time. Book now and mention this ad to get 10% off your custom business wrap and turn every mile into a marketing opportunity. Octane Customs, your brand on the move.
I'm Rocco, and I work here at Shell Polymers Monaca. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
Welcome back to the Shell Halftime Show. Central Valley hosting Avonworth, playing to snap a 3-game skid against the Antelopes. Still have a ton of work to do in this second half. Avonworth up 27-6. I'm Allie Cohen. This is Damon McDermott. The pregame show, you talked a lot about a lot of kids. One kid that probably didn't get some of the time that he should have gotten, Jaden Jones.
Yeah,
we're sophomore. He's like, hey, you should have mentioned my name a couple times.
He's going to watch back this and be like, you mentioned Luka Neal. You mentioned my quarterback, my running back, but way to go. We're going to look at these highlights when we come back. But, I mean, of all the people we talked about, Avonworth showed, we have other guys that they're sophomores. They're coming up, and you're going to learn a lot more about these guys. 2 touchdowns for him in the first half. He was breaking tackles, beating guys deep. He can do it all, and this is another guy you're probably going to talk about junior, senior year, and he's going to remember sophomore year where he barely got the ball, and the next 2 years I guarantee he's going to dominate the WPIAL just like their playmakers do right now.
It's crazy because you look at high school. I talk to these coaches, and in high school, most high schools, you get who you get when you're coming to play. But a team like Avonworth just keeps replenishing their kids, and you see it here with someone like Jaden Jones, and that's a credit to the coaching staff, I'm sure, how they coach, how they bring them up, and I think that, what is your take on that?
Yeah, to me, there's a lot of pressure. You're 5-0, and for a sophomore to come in, he's starting as one of the wide receivers. And a lot of these young guys, they replace a lot of guys after you win a WPIAL championship. You're losing 10 to 20 seniors every year. And to show what they've done this year, beating Thomas Jefferson, beating Aliquippa, I want to give Central Valley props, obviously, in this halftime show. But I'm just so impressed how well coached Avonworth is and why Coach John Core is one of the best to do it of all time, in my personal opinion. They run the ball so well, and as soon as they start making you a little bit bored and they're like, oh, they're just going to keep running, boom, 50-yard pass right over top of your head. They just execute so well. I can't be more complimentary of how they did in this first half, and hopefully we can see Central Valley bounce back in the second half.
And you'll see Coach John Core sitting for about half of the game. His back is not so great, so I asked him how he was feeling. He said, I'm laying on the training table right now as we speak. He said, I'm not completely sidelined, but of course it's frustrating, so trying to figure that out. He said maybe a pinched nerve, I don't know, so hoping that he heals quickly. But, being able to coach from that position and the kids respect you and listen to you, he said he was a quarterback, so he kind of has transferred that into his coaching. He's always been very even-keeled, And we see that in his coaching. He just has a very calm demeanor, and the kids respond to it.
Yeah, and I think kids, they want to be motivated, but at the same time, you're teaching these guys. They're still young. So when you have a quarterback that can see everything and maybe go away from some stuff when it's not working. Right now, everything's working. But, I mean, it's just...
He said, I have no notes.
Yeah, right now, he's just like, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Again, they're not taking any penalties. You don't see a lot of turnovers. Carson Bellinger hasn't thrown a interception the whole entire year, so he's perfect so far. And what I'm so impressed about him is it's going to be hard being a quarterback. You're only throwing the ball 5-7 times and a half, but every time it's well executed, and you can just tell they're so well coached, and they do so well. So, again, I hope his back feels better. I think that's the only thing going wrong right now for him, and everything else is going right.
Right. All right, so we got to see the story of Jordan Whitehead just a little bit ago. We're going to get Avonworth in the action. And the storied career of Mercury Morris. Bob Pompiani has more on that.
Drafted, Western PA to the NFL. Presented by UPMC. Number 44, Mercury Morris.
Eugene Mercury Morris grew up along the banks of the Ohio River in Ben Avon and starred for the newly created Avonworth High School team in the mid-1960s. Despite that success in the WPIAL, he was lightly recruited. He accepted his only scholarship offer at West Texas State, where he promptly rewrote the Buffalo's record books. Those numbers put him on the map, and he was then selected by the Miami Dolphins in the third round of the 1969 NFL Draft. Over his first couple of years as a pro, he served mainly as a kick returner, but in 1972, he teamed up with Larry Zonka to become the first rushing tandem to each run for over 1,000 yards in what remains the only perfect season in NFL history. He would finish his 8-year career as a 3-time Pro Bowler with 2 Super Bowl rings. Unfortunately, Mercury Morris passed away in September of 2024 at the age of 77.
Getting into more honors each week, we name a Steelers Coach of the Week. The honor this week going to California High School head coach Ed Woods. Woods led the Trojans to a 42-0 shutout win over Avella, where his team fired on all cylinders in all phases. Sounds like a team we know right here. On the ground and in the air, highlighted by a 67-yard touchdown pass against an Avella defense that had only given up 24 points all season entering that game. The defense, like I said, only gave up 24 points, if I could figure out where I'm reading from. This is Coach Woods' first Coach of the Week honor since taking over the program in 2024. Congratulations to him. Back into the action. Time here to take a look at the highlight reel worthy plays from Week 4. Here is Carlos Zofko.
It's halftime of the Steelers High School Football Showcase Game of the Week, and you know what that means. It's time for the WPIAL Insider Show, Top 10 Plays of the Week. I'm the WPIAL Insider, Carlos Zofko. This is all presented to us by our friends at Home Team Collections. Reminder, this is the only place that you can find the top 10 plays from the last week of WPIAL football action. You're not going to get this anywhere else. It's everybody's favorite part of the show. Let's jump right into the top 10 plays. At number 10, we're going to go to the Char Valley Hampton game and throw it up to Damian Holloway. He's coming down with it on the toe tap. Would have been good in the NFL. At number 9, we're going to go to Bishop Canavan running back Meonte Mott. And Mott going to cut on a dime and make about 7 guys miss, break a couple ankles, and route to the end zone. At number 8, we're going to 6A and Central Catholic. It's going to be Jaden Alexander. Maybe don't kick it to this guy. Jaden's going to field it, going to find a crease, spin around a defender, and you ain't going to catch him. He's turning on the Jets, still pulling away from the defenders. Central Catholic goes on to win. At number 7, we're going to go to another South Allegheny Gladiator. Second time the Gladiators have made the top 10 play. This time it's Derek Pacer, another running back, dragging guys into the end zone. South Allegheny, best start in school history. At number 6, we're going to go to the opening kickoff of the game in Armstrong. They have a little trickeration, a flip to Caden Lewis, and Lewis is not going to be stopped, going to make the kicker miss, and he's not going to be caught either. Big play by Lewis. Armstrong comes along with the win. At number 5, we're going to go to the Battle of Single A. Jeanette versus Leechburg, and it's going to be Xavier Autoriso Farrow with the toe tap of the year. He stayed in bounds, tiptoes the line and finds the end zone. Leechburg gets the win, but Jeanette gets the top play. At number 4, we're going to find Daylon Curry in the end zone, juggling it around, and he's going to bring it down for the Elwood City Wolverines. At number 3, you're going to see a double dose of this guy, DJ Warren. Flips it out to him, gonna make a defender miss, and then it's all history from there. Breaking a couple ankles, DJ Warren to the end zone for number 3, and he's not done yet. Potentially the catch of the year. Warren on 1st and 15, one-handed backwards. Unbelievable. At number 1, though, let's take it to Matt.
From the 28-yard line, back to passes Council. Steps up, lets it fly into the end zone. It is gone for a touchdown! Heinz Hysteria! Aliquippa wins it on a walk-off! Marcus Council!
And how could it be anything else? Marcus Council to Ray Miller for Aliquippa to win the game. You guys saw it right here on the showcase. Unbelievable. Who picks these games? Must be some good-looking fella named Matt. Anyways, thanks again to our sponsor at HomeTeamCollections.com. Visit them online. Get some beautiful framed jerseys, memorabilia. They got it all. Both Marcus Council and Ray Miller will be getting a beautiful framed picture from that game so that they can remember it forever and ever. Thanks again for tuning into the show. I'll be right back next week with another beautiful top 10 plays. I'm your host, WPIAL Insider Carlos Ofco. Back to you.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first.
And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever.
Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
Why do I love having a healthcare concierge?
It's the speaking to a real live person.
It's the figuring things out, so I don't have to.
Es la voz que me da.
It's the making sure I get my prescriptions on time.
It's the call, just to see how my son was doing after his accident.
When you have a healthcare concierge team, you have partners. Partners in care.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
I'm Rocco, and I work here at Shell Polymers Monaca. Outside of work, I coach and train football at M7 Shell Sports Complex. We work with students on and off the field to develop their life skills, helping build my community.
Welcome back to Central Valley. It's the Shell halftime show. Avonworth up big at half, 27-6. We'll take a look at the first half stats, how this one went down. Passing yards, I mean, Central Valley came out firing their first drive of the game. So you see those 81 passing yards. But obviously, you look at what Avonworth did in their run game, too.
And again, 13 first downs. And again, 5 penalty yards.
Right.
They don't make a lot of mistakes. And like you said, heavy dose of the run game, but when they need to pass, like when we watch these highlights, they can do it. It's just you're going to have to stop the run, and you're going to be able to figure it out. Central Valley couldn't do it in the WPIAL Championship last year with that Wildcat. They showed that off a little bit, and then they'll just run straight up with a wing and a tight end like we showed in our pregame show, and it's just hat on a hat, and they're unbelievable at running the football.
A little bit overmatched everywhere on the field tonight. Taking a look at how this first half went down. Central Valley, like we said, came out firing. A quarterback sneak from
Braddock Ambrose with a 1-yard quarterback sneak, first drive for them, and then you see Dimitri Velasaris with a little 2-yard run right there, and it was a heavy dose of the run game. But don't forget about, we just talked about Jaden Jones. What a first half for the sophomore. His coming out party here tonight with a 59-yard touchdown right there, and again,
making it 14-6.
Yeah, making it 14-6, and then 21-6. Guess who's back? There's Delasaris right there, and then
guess who's back again?
Jaden
Jones taking advantage of that missed tackle, making it 27-6.
Yep, and right there, Jaden Jones made a missed tackle. The sophomore, a little comeback route, went right back to the end zone for a second time in this game. And right there, we keep talking about how well balanced they are. They can do everything.
Yeah, just like Coach Mark Lyons said, every single guy who touches that ball on that team has a chance to be successful, and we're seeing it tonight. Taking a look at the scores around the WPIAL. I know we had some scores. That I took some underdogs.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here.
Upper St. Clair
Peters tied at 10. All right, so Upper St. Clair's still in it. That's good for me. North Catholic, I went with Arthur on that one.
Yep, and the Monty Christian and team I said wouldn't lose until states they're losing. Central Catholic up 7-3, so North Allegheny always keeps it close. Thomas Jefferson, Bell Vernon, another great game, and look at Clareton again. That's supposed to be a rivalry, but they're up 43-0, and Aliquippa is down 0-6.
Yeah, like we said, Upper St. Clair maybe looking for some revenge from that Class 5A title game last year. Avonworth is up 27-6, big on Central Valley here. Heading into the second half, this was the Shell halftime show here in Monaca, PA. Central Valley looking to get something going here in the second half. Avonworth looking to extend their winning streak to 6 games and remain undefeated 6-0 on the season. I'm Allie Cohen. This is Dave McDermott. We'll see you back here for the second half. Thanks for hanging.
Did you know you can make your home or building look brand new? For the whole project, or just spot repointing, make your home exterior brand new like when it was built. Call or visit Mariani-Richards.com.
This is a meal. We're talking a good food that makes you feel good meal. You feeling that? Now, meal this. A salad for the first time in a week meal. A catching up with your ex meal.
So, how's your mom?
Been there. Ooh, a scoring cool dad points meal.
Obviously.
Thank you. Do I spy an I need 5 minutes to myself meal? Whatever you're feeling, at Panera, it just meals good.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
You might not see the people's pipelines that deliver you safe, reliable natural gas every day because they are out of sight, hiding beneath your feet. But what's out of your sight is not out of our minds. We moved through busy city streets to upgrade the infrastructure that served our region for decades, using state-of-the-art materials that reduce emissions to power homes and businesses with essential energy for generations to come. That's people's commitment to making your life better.
You know, when Gary's call came in, just by the sound of the call, you knew that this was a bad injury.
When I saw Gary in the hospital room, they were afraid that his injuries were so severe that the lower leg wouldn't be salvageable. It was 50-50 as to whether Gary was going to keep the lower limb.
My name's Gary. When I needed help the most, Edgar Snyder was there for me. I wouldn't have wanted no one else. I'm glad they were my team, straight up.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
A deep ball here that's caught and going all the way to the end zone.
JRM Video Productions, winners of a regional Emmy Award for live sporting event.
Welcome back to Central Valley's Sarge Albert Stadium, the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. Avonworth leads Central Valley. Welcome back in the broadcast booth, everybody. That's Arthur Moats. I'm Matt Fargo. Happy Friday night. And for Avonworth, you said it earlier, it has been pick your poison.
Absolutely. I mean, when you talk about their ability to control the line of scrimmage, their rushing attack, Demetrius Valeceres, has been unstoppable. But then they've added this passing attack to the young Jaden Jones, and for Central Valley, just haven't had an answer. And hopefully they can figure that out in the second half. Otherwise, homecoming night will be ruined.
Deep kick. Nicely placed there by Tom Pratt.
First and 10 for the Antelopes.
And the Avonworth offense to get the football to start and try to add to this 27-6 advantage. And, you know, there's games, Arthur, where you're doing yourself some disjustice. You're not able to execute, and that is the reason why you're trailing. However, there are games, and I think this is one of them, where your opponent just is firing on all cylinders. That's the Avonworth Antelopes so far tonight.
And that's how Avonworth has been all season long. You look at how Coach John Core was excited prior to halftime, talking about what their team has been doing and how he really didn't feel like they needed to make a lot of adjustments. For them, this is business as usual. And as long as they can continue to stay clean and stay healthy, they're going to be a problem for every single team that they face going forward.
Valeceres on the carry.
Valeceres gets it going here as he'll pick his way for a couple on first down. The closest margin of victory this year for Avonworth is 16. 2 touchdown difference. That was the Aliquippa win. Everything else, I mean, a dominating performance against TJ and Hopewell last week. Valeceres getting pulled down from behind. Nicely done for Brendan Alexander.
Valeceres on the carry. Met immediately by number 50.
And Brendan Alexander continues to flash defensively. He's one of those pieces in terms of that Central Valley defensive front that does make plays and that has been able to at least combat some of that Avonworth approach in terms of their offensive line and how dominant they've been in the trenches. But even going back to the Aliquippa game that you brought up, one of the reasons why Aliquippa was able to hang around was because of how well they played in the trenches, both offensively and defensively, creating pressure while also being able to win the line of scrimmage in certain situations.
3rd down and 7. Ball at the 23-yard line for Carson Bellinger and the Lopes. Rolling. Throwing it out, and it got knocked down, swatted out of the atmosphere by Adam Sherrode.
Bellinger's pass is knocked down by number 4, Adam Sherrode. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And that was a nice job by Adam Sherrode right there. in terms of keeping contained, keeping his hands up, and ultimately making a play for that Central Valley defense to now set them up with potentially following this punt, good field position. But right there, you can see him keeping good width, and then from there accelerating, both hands in the air, forcing the incompletion. And now if you're Central Valley, this is the type of positive that you wanted to see coming out of halftime.
First step. Journey of 1,000 miles begins with the single step. The first step was getting the football back without any digits changing on the scoreboard. And it is down at the 50-yard line, so decent field position there as Mahan's punt
is touchdown by number 7
down at the
Ramella
50.
Harris.
And the Warrior offense back to work, and it's a
First and 10 for the Warriors.
opportunity to chip
Ball
away and
50-yard
chip
line.
into this 3-score advantage for the Warriors here early in the second half.
And one of the things that Central Valley started to do where they had success was when Braddock Ambrose got a chance to throw that football to Antonio Perry and company. If he can find some success with that and complete some of those passes, this might change the flow of this game in the second half.
They fake the jet motion and they go to Shear, and Shear's immediately stop as Krull makes the stop for a loss on the play. TFL for Krull.
Yeah, and that Avonworth defense is well coached. You watch how they adjust to some of the pre-snap movement from Central Valley. They never seem to be caught off guard, and that's one of the things that you want to see from a defensive standpoint.
Second down at 11, back to pass, little double clutch. Ambrose fits that in a tight tinted window, completed to Antonio Perry for a first down.
Central Valley Warriors.
Braddock Ambrose has had success all night versus that cover 2 defense. The only time that they've been stopped on this particular play was when Antonio Perry dropped it. But when you see him making this type of combat catch like that, that's what will keep Central Valley alive, and that's what will ultimately give this offense a spark.
Gain of 15 on the pass and catch. First and 10. Motion man is Lawson. They fake it to him. Stepping up. Ambrose going to test it. Got a receiver, and it is. Did he catch it? No, incomplete. Oh, wow. An attempt there by Sarge that just misses a score.
That's one of those ones I'm throwing the replay flag. I need to see it because the way Braddock Ambrose drops back, throws this beautiful air under the ball and nice protection up front. But as he's getting in, one-handed attempt, let's see.
Great call.
Man.
Looks like he trapped it.
And that's why the referees are some of the best in all of the WPIAL, baby. But I like the attempt, though, and that's one of the things for Central Valley. If you're trying to attack Avonworth, through the air is where they're susceptible right now.
And I think we're going to get a delay of game penalty here on Central Valley. Going to make it second down and 15.
On the Warriors.
March them back to the 40.
Replay, second down.
And that's been a common theme with Central Valley from the first snap that they took on offense. They've had a lot of pre-snap, self-inflicted, delay of games, false starts. And when you do that versus a team like Avonworth, it's just hard to sustain positive drives.
Second down, 15. Go to the screenplay. Perry trying to get out in space. Open field tackle at the 25, so picks up a lost penalty yardage. Braylon Wiles, a sophomore on this Avonworth defense, makes the tackle.
Yeah, and that play right there is more so just try to get them in a third and kind of manageable, right? You don't want to be in 3rd and 15, but either way, 3rd and 10 isn't what you want to be in when you're talking about how aggressive that Avonworth defense can be.
3rd and 9, they'll call it. Back to pass. Ambrose hit as he throws a slant pattern that goes off the hands and incomplete. Lawson was the intended receiver. Second time tonight they've had that play open and it has gone off the receiver's hands.
I mean, the protection was there, the throw was there, but unfortunately this is a part of execution. Everybody has to do their job, and getting the route, getting open is a part of it, but you still have to come down with that catch right there when it hits you in the hands. Now, unfortunately, 4th and 10. Let's see if Central Valley can make something out of this.
Braddock Ambrose steps, throws, and it's intercepted. One time to the well, too many. Intercepted by Jackson Krull, who was lurking, and flags fly. Krull loses his helmet on the Central Valley sideline.
Intercepted by number 1, Jackson Cruel. Flag on the play.
And we'll check the penalty, but it's going to be Avonworth football.
And as you see on the replay right here, when you keep going across the middle of the field, you're taking chances. There are a lot of eyes, a lot of defenders in there. And for Jackson Cruel, he's seen that play a little bit too many times. In fact, 2 times on the same drive, right prior to that. And this time he just steps in, makes a nice hands catch for the interception.
Personal foul penalty against Central Valley.
On the Warriors.
That will be marched off. And the Lopes have the football and the lead on the showcase here at KDK Plus.
Turkey's in season at Eaton Park. Whether you're craving it hot, stacked, Pittsburgh style, or served up with all the fixings, we've got you covered. Starting at just $10.99. Add a slice of pumpkin pie to any of these favorites for only $1.99. Only at Eaton Park.
At Laway, we understand the power of personalization. From hats to water bottles, our expert services include screen printing, embroidery, and a variety of promotional items. We also specialize in team sports gear. What truly sets Laway apart is our dedicated design team, including our talented on-staff graphic designers and exponential customer service. Choose Laway to make a lasting impression on and off the field.
You know, when Gary's call came in, just by the sound of the call, you knew that this was a bad injury.
When I saw Gary in the hospital room, they were afraid that his injuries were so severe that the lower leg wouldn't be salvageable. It was 50-50 as to whether Gary was going to keep the lower limb.
My name's Gary. When I needed help the most, Edgar Snyder was there for me. I wouldn't have wanted no one else. I'm glad they were my team, straight up.
At Hello Bistro, we keep it fresh. Fresh flavors, fresh choices, endless ways to build what you're craving. Because food should be as bold as you are. You deserve fresh. Only at Hello Bistro.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by UPMC Sports Medicine, Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union, Octane Customs, your brand on the move. An interception sets up Avonworth in good field position to start another drive. That was the 10th takeaway by the Avonworth defense this season. And it sets them up 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Offense back to work. Look. Or check with me, depending on who's asking. 1st and 10, they go pitch left to Velaceres and gets a yard. And, you know, for Avonworth fans, they're going to be disappointed with that because it's been 8, 9, 10.
Like, what is this 1-yard gain stuff? We're not accustomed to this. But good job by Central Valley showing that they're still in this fight. They're not just turning it in because of some offensive mishaps per se. But for Avonworth, let's see if they can go ahead and close the door on this game tonight.
Talk about the efficiency and the balance from this Avonworth offense after this 2nd and 9 play from the 47. Bellinger sets up the screen pass to Neal, little stiff arm, breaking tackles and into Avonworth territory at the 47. They average, Arthur, 195 yards passing per game and average 183 rushing yards per game. It's the definition of efficiency and balance.
Absolutely, and it starts up front. When you have a group that can protect the way that they protect, but then at the same time can wear you out and dominate you in the running game, this is why they're able to have all this type of success running or throwing, and it doesn't matter which running back has been back there, Velaceres or Luca Neal. They've both had a lot of success tonight.
55% on 3rd down conversions on the season, and a tick better now because they convert another third down for the Antelopes.
And the beautiful thing is this, when you look at the replay, watch who's out in front. Big number 74, the Navy commit, helping him get the corner. And then from there, Sarge doing what he's done all night. Not just pick up first downs, but fall forward every time. Yards after contact adding up. This is impressive by him tonight.
Records changed on the ticket. First down at 10. Play action. Bellinger. A slant pattern that is completed. Jaden Jones, another reception.
Bellinger's pass to number 6, Jaden Jones.
Good enough for an Avonworth first down to the 26.
First down.
And that's the beautiful thing for Avonworth offensively. Now, when you're talking about them finding this connection with Jaden Jones, who's already scored twice tonight, you can just see that's another added element to this offense that you have to worry about. And for Central Valley, it seems like that's another piece that they just don't have the answer for tonight.
13 yards on the pass and catch. And Velasquez, God crushed in the backfield. It's Lucas Jerovac.
Met immediately in the backfield by number 11, Lucas.
And nice job by Lucas right here, slipping a block and then making a big tackle for loss right there. You can see he's still playing with a lot of passion. He's still fired up and ultimately trying to get that Central Valley team back into this game.
Second down, 14. Bellinger looking, flag down, caught, and into the end zone for a touchdown. Bellinger finds his receiver, Jaden Jones, for a hat trick. There is a flag down, and it looks like this will not count. Holding call.
On the Antelopes.
That will negate that.
Replay, second down.
Takes the hat trick off the board for young Jaden Jones on the night. But if you're Central Valley, doesn't matter where you can find some positivity, find a way. And if that right there could be the difference, because now you're looking at them having a second and, was it 20? That could bode a lot better for Central Valley in comparison to what we just saw happen to them.
A second and 24 at the 40-yard line. Bellinger motions Velasquez out of the backfield. Here comes some pressure, and it's popped into the air and intercepted. Picked off on the play. Lucas Jerovac, the first interception of Bellinger's season, comes on a tip drill.
And when you talk about Lucas Jerovac, back-to-back plays where he's been the big reason for Central Valley.
And let's take another look at this. Wait a second. I think there might be some theatrics. Popped up.
Oh, yeah.
He missed it.
What could have been near opportunity, and unfortunately, Avonworth still has possession of this ball.
They do. They got the call right. We're able to reverse it, and it will be third down, 24, and a timeout taken by Avonworth. They want to talk things over, and we want to talk to Allie Cohen down on the sidelines.
Warriors head coach Mark Lyons jokes that his sidelines look like a daycare. He's a 6th grade teacher, and everyone wants to be in his class because they all want a chance to be ball boys. So right now there are 7 current ball boys, Lucas Jerovac and Ethan Shearer, 2 former ball boys. When I asked how he chooses who gets the gig, he said, well, I just don't say no, and that's why you see so many kids on our sidelines. So I got to ask you first, say your name for me.
Carson Hill.
Carson Hill, how many years have you been a ball boy?
3 years.
3 years. And what do you learn being a ball boy from this team?
That teamship and leadership is very important to this team, and taking accountability.
Yeah. How important is it to you to be on this team when you get the chance?
Very. I've been playing football all my life, and I know Coach Lyons pretty well.
What do you think it takes to be a Central Valley Warrior? Being on the sidelines, you get to see all the inside happenings.
I don't know, courage. And I don't know. No, I don't. That's a hard question.
These are good answers. What do you have an idea? What do you think it's going to take to be a member of this football team?
A lot of hard work and dedication.
What do you think about Coach Lyons? Is he as tough as everyone thinks he is?
Yes.
A resounding yes. Back to you guys in the booth.
Allie, thank you. And you know what? That's where it's bred. It's where it's the foundation is built at the youth level, and it's important. It's an important fact that some of my best memories are being down on the sidelines, messing around with my buddies.
No, you're absolutely right. And I wasn't necessarily a ball boy, but I was actually the water boy when I was also around that age group. And when you talk about the camaraderie, you talk about looking up to guys, but building that dedication, the hard work, and that focus and discipline. These are all the characteristics that you're going to need to be not just successful in sports, but in life.
Pressure comes for Bellinger on third down. Ball's out, and the Warriors have it. A turnover created. Brendan Alexander recovers the fumble. Ethan Shear caused it. Alexander secured it.
Excellent job by number 6, Ethan Shear. Not just creating the pressure in the sack, but watch him hunt that ball, forcing the fumble. Big man Brendan Alexander scooping it. Would love to have seen him score, but as a whole, excellent job getting that possession right there. And now Central Valley has some momentum.
We'll be back. Warriors have the football on KDK Plus.
At Giant Eagle, we believe in better because this recipe is 4 generations and going strong. Because it's more than a cake, it's a tradition. Because when you were little, this made it all better too. Because this has been Sunday for as long as you could remember. For over 90 years, Giant Eagle has been here to keep your traditions going strong. Because it matters.
Thanks.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Welcome to La Roche University, where experience isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
At La Roche, our students thrive by putting their ideas into action.
So we came in today just kind of getting a general idea of valuing a model and how it is done in actual real-life time.
I think what they're doing in La Roche with the applied learning has a lot of value for the students. They're able to see the real-world numbers come to life, and that has a lot of impact for them.
La Roche University, engaging minds, embracing the world.
From heating and cooling to a large array of construction equipment, Herc Rentals has the gear you need to get the job done. Herc Rentals is already a staple in several communities across the United States and Canada and have been serving our customers' needs since 1965. With a catalog of equipment that spans the spectrum of almost every kind of solution you can think of. To learn more about Herc Rentals, visit hercrentals.com or call us at 1-888-777-2700.
JRM Video Productions, winners of a Regional Emmy Award for live sporting event.
Monaca, Pennsylvania, the site of our Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. Avonworth leads Central Valley 27-6 with Arthur Moats. Allie Cohen down on the sidelines. I'm Matt Fargo. Happy to have you along. Play action. Sets up a screen pass to the far side. Broke a tackle. First down, Warriors. On the reception for the Warriors, Antonio Perry. Boy, we've been saying it all game, but you see what they were missing without him.
You're absolutely right, but this is the way to attack Avonworth right now. Through the air, getting the ball in Antonio Perry's hand, and when he has that football, you can see his playmaking ability, getting the first down right here. And now, can Central Valley find a way to close this gap in the third quarter and get themselves back into this?
They go to the ground game, and Perry carries to the 31. Avonworth's defense has been stingy all season. They averaged giving up just 8.2 points per game.
Good for a gain of 4.
And only twice this season has a team scored twice.
Yeah, they do a really good job of winning the line of scrimmage, so it forces you to be one-dimensional. We've talked about tonight, you're not really seeing Central Valley have a lot of success running the football. But when you try to throw it and become one-dimensional across the middle of the field, you can see where Avonworth can make a play on you.
Play action. Ambrose has time, lets it fly into the end zone, has a receiver there. It's in and out of the hands, incomplete. Micaiah Med was there.
And unfortunately, this is becoming a reoccurring theme as well when you talk about Braddock Ambrose with time, delivering a beautiful strike through the air, and unfortunately, his receiver's not being able to complete it. I mean, it hits him right in the hands, would have been a walk-in touchdown. Maybe the second one tonight, if we're being realistic about it.
Sure.
And that could be a big difference when you're talking about the score in a game like this, where 27-6 feels a lot different than if it's 18-27.
Yeah. No doubt. 3rd down at 6 now after the missed opportunity for the Warriors. Back to pass. There's the quick pass, and it's Lucas Jerovac who makes the reception out of the tight end position, and a first down for Central Valley.
Yeah, and if this is your first time seeing Braddock Ambrose, this is what he's capable of. We know he can run the football, but when he's in rhythm like this and he's being able to hit that short to intermediate while still taking the deep shots, you see him really shine. And that's why Central Valley is now entering into that red zone.
They give it off to Shear, and he picks his way inside the 20 into the Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union red zone.
Brought down by number 23, Bryce Betts.
And you're talking about Braddock Ambrose.
Good for a gain of 4.
Mentioned first-year starter, but he finished last year due to injury and the growing pains with that brutal schedule to begin. But Mark Lyon said he's not shocked. He is what we think he could be. And Ambrose here running for his life and will flip it away, and it will be incomplete out of the pocket, so no intentional grounding. 3rd down upcoming, and almost a tip of the cap there for Ambrose to even get that one away with Romello Harris barreling down on him.
Yeah, Romello Harris did a really good job of showing the athleticism to stick with Braddock right there, but also good job by Ambrose minimizing the damage and not taking the sack, getting rid of the ball. The one thing that I will say with Ambrose, he does seem to be cool while being pressured. And that's something that has really showed up. But for his receivers, they got to also be able to reciprocate that by finishing these plays that he's giving them opportunities for.
Central Valley's been pretty good on 3rd down tonight, and that one way overcooked. He had pressure immediately.
Ambrose's pass to number 33,
incomplete.
is incomplete.
And it is 4th down.
Yeah, and it looks like number 33 for Avonworth, Gavin McDowell, providing that pressure on the blitz right there. But that was a nice change-up by Avonworth. When you feel like Central Valley is having success throwing the football, and we asked earlier, what do you do to adjust? How do you take something away? The pressure. It's a nice change-up, and sometimes you can create that with your front four, or sometimes it happens what you saw with Avonworth, where they create that pressure via blitz.
What will they dial up here on 4th and 6? A timeout. Timeout taken by Central Valley. That is their second of this second half. High school football tonight. That means college football tomorrow on KDKA+. The presidents of W&J go on the road to take on Grove City. Grove City in the Washington and Jefferson tomorrow on KDKA+. And, of course, produced by our friends here at JRM Sports. Big matchup in D3 football action. Oh, there we are. The eye in the sky. Someone's always watching, right?
I mean, that's the beautiful part of what we do. You never know who's looking or where the camera is. But as long as it's an exciting game, you know me and you will be up here having a blast nonetheless.
It's Nick Lucchini doing stats tonight alongside Al Lesh. Grant Kalich just hanging out with us tonight as well. the future. He's going to take my job.
Uh-oh.
Throw near side, inside the 10. It's completed. Antonio Perry on the reception. And a first down for the Warriors, a conversion.
I mean, the way that they're moving this ball down the field, a little bit methodical, but as a whole, execution is being shown. And this is what you want to see by Antonio Perry. He's getting open. He's creating separation throughout the night. The only time he's been stopped is when he has had the self-inflicted issue. But when he's locked in like this, he is tough to deal with.
Warriors knocking on the door now. First and goal. They go to the fade route, end zone. And unless Evan Laurent was eligible to make that catch, that's our camera operator down there in the sideline. That one incomplete.
Absolutely. Not the guy that you want to be intending for, but
coming into your living room right now.
But in terms of the intent, though, I do like the fact that for Central Valley, they've seen where they can have success. Throwing that football, whether it's the quick screen game or taking these shots down the grass, they feel confident in Braddock Ambrose, and I like that approach because it has them right here knocking on the door for a touchdown.
Second down and goal. Ball rests at the 8. They go back to the ground game and share, and not much available, and you just see how stingy this Avonworth defense gets in when you get in tight. Noah Neese on the stop there for the Lopes. Also give credit to Luca Neal.
I mean, Luca Neal's one of those guys doing it on both sides of the ball. But that's what you wanted to see there if you're Avonworth. Find a way to create some type of negative play, some type of thing to break up that rhythm that Central Valley had been having. And now, hopefully, with this 3rd and 7, the pressure that you provide right here will ultimately help get these guys off the field.
Ambrose with pressure. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. 4th down. And trying to find Perry. But he had no time, and he was slow to peel himself off this phony grass.
And that's the beautiful part of the changeup by Avonworth defensively. Antonio Perry was open once again, but due to the pressure and how fast it got on Braddock, he never got a chance to set his feet and ultimately deliver a throw that would have been catchable for Antonio Perry. And that's what you want to see. When we talk about rush and coverage working together, that's a beautiful opportunity to show it right there on display.
4th down in the bowl, snapped prematurely and decked back at the 20 is Ambrose. It'll be a turnover on downs. Romello Harris made sure it was over.
Yeah, the sophomore outside linebacker already did a good job on that drive earlier on, keeping contained on the quarterback. And then right here, you see him create the pressure. And then with the mishap offensively with the snap, it's tough to outrun a guy like Romello Harris on a night like tonight. But that has to be so disheartening for Central Valley as well. You think about how they started this drive and how methodical it was, all the positive plays through the air, all for nothing. And now Avonworth has a chance to put more points on the board.
Yep, they take over at their own 20-yard line. 53 seconds left to go in this 3rd quarter. Belisaris got armbarred and tried to stay upright, and he does as he squirms his way for a yard or 2.
Brought down by number 4, Adam Schroeds.
Yeah, I've been impressed with his yards after contact tonight. He gets touched, but you hardly ever see him go down off of the first guy, and you hardly ever see him getting tackled where he falls backwards. Some of the real signs of a really productive, high-quality running back.
19 seconds. Second and 8, Belisaris gets the corner. It's a first down, and Belisaris turns on the second gear, tripped up. Fresh set of downs, and they roll him out at the 44.
I mean, it's a reason why this kid came in here as one of the leading rushers. But when you look at them hitting that left side of the field again, Peter Bonnet and company clearing it out, and then from there he makes the best defender for Central Valley, Aaron Lawson, miss. And now you got the explosive play. Excellent job by Dimitri Belisaris tonight. He is putting on a clinic running the football.
22 yards on that run for Belisaris. Last week, Belisaris had 102 yards, 2 touchdowns on 15 carries. And interesting, Avonworth calls a timeout here with 4 seconds to go here before the end of the third. Well, want to congratulate all involved with JRM Video Productions on back-to-back Emmy Award-winning live sport event in the category of the Mid-Atlantic Emmy chapter. Congratulations to, and the Emmys in the building.
Man, look at that thing go. Beautiful, beautiful trophy, and more importantly, well-deserved when you talk about the work that JRM has been doing.
Incredible. The men and women, the young men and women that put it all on. It takes a village. There's over 20 crew members that put on these high school football games every Friday night. And there's some of them inside Mission Control. Of course, Jake Mislivchik, the man that does it all. He's at the top, our fearless leader. As Bellinger's just going to test it deep down the far sideline. And will they say he got a foot in? Yes, they do. Completed to Neal for an explanation point to end the third quarter. That was 37 yards.
And once again, nice protection. And when you think, okay, they're not throwing it to Jaden Jones, we're going to get a break right here. No, they hit the other guy, Luka Neal, who we obviously talked about coming into this game as one of their most productive players through the air.
3 quarters in the books. Avonworth in control, 27-6. Fourth quarter on the back half of this break on the Steelers High School Showcase presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
You might not see the people's pipelines that deliver you safe, reliable natural gas every day because they are out of sight, hiding beneath your feet. But what's out of your sight is not out of our minds. We move through busy city streets to upgrade the infrastructure that served our region for decades, using state-of-the-art materials that reduce emissions, to power homes and businesses with essential energy for generations to come. That's people's commitment to making your life better.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, life-changing medicine.
Thanks for fixing the door.
I was nervous about that lock.
To your family, you are more than just your income.
What would she do without me? She'd probably have to marry our next-door neighbor, Todd.
Well, Todd, I have no feelings for you whatsoever, but I'm going to have to say I do. I can't afford a handyman.
Gotta get some life insurance.
Although you're irreplaceable, a life insurance policy from GBU Life can provide the financial security your family needs for a secure future. To get started, visit gbu.org.
The build. What is it that drives us to follow our dreams? To build them from scratch, from the heart. For us, it's the same ideals of hard work, craftsmanship, and unity that define our great nation. It begins with trusting in yourself and having a team behind you that believes any dream is possible, and that every project is a vision of what can be, of who you are, and the future that you continue to build. From our family to yours, 84 Lumber, where quality and pride come together, one dream at a time.
Fourth quarter action from Central Valley tonight, 27-6. Avonworth leads it over Central Valley. Steelers High School Showcase with Arthur Moats. Allie Cohen down to the sidelines. Matt Fargo with you on this Friday night. Beginning the second half of the high school football season officially. Halfway point was at halftime of this ball game officially. Belisarius carries, and Avonworth looking to put a finishing touchdown on their 6th straight win of the season. They could punch one in here in the early goings of this 4th. They are inside the Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union red zone.
I wouldn't be surprised if they ran it on that side of the line again.
There it is. Belisaris. Tony Romo said nothing on you.
Just having a little bit of fun over here, man. When you talk about the Navy commit Peter Bonnet and the way that he has been winning that line of scrimmage, it's no surprise that they keep going to that well. You look at him. I mean, he's 5-10 yards downfield, big 74 right there blocking. And that's the reason why Demetrius Belisaris and Luca Neal have been able to have so much success running the football tonight.
6'6", 300 for Mr. Bonnet. What's that Giant Eagle grocery bill look like? First down at goal from the pistol. Belisaris picks his way to the 2. Second down and goal coming up here for Dimitri.
Brought down by number 2, Antonio Perry, and number 50, Brendan Alexander.
And once again, you look at this downhill rushing attack.
2nd and goal.
Even though Brendan Alexander is making plays for that Central Valley defense, he, at this stage, doesn't seem like enough in comparison to what that Avonworth front has been able to do, overwhelming the Central Valley trenches.
Over 20 carries tonight for Belisaris. He gets tracked down to the backfield this time. Ethan Shear on the tackle for the Warriors.
And that's a nice changeup right there. The problem is it just feels like they wait a little bit too long. But when you talk about how to combat this offensive line, you blitz them. Sometimes you send an Ethan Shearer to change it up, and he does an excellent job right there making that tackle for loss.
Belisaris over 130 yards rushing tonight. Back-to-back 100-yard rushing games for him. Bellinger on a slant pattern, touchdown. Avonworth, Luca Neal joins the party. Lopes eyeing up win number 6.
And you talk about winning a one-on-one matchup and winning in a hurry at the line of scrimmage. That's just what Luca Neal did right here on this one-on-one coverage. Nice protection, but that slant, beating him off the line of scrimmage like that, makes it super easy for Carson Bellinger to throw that. And now this game is officially a blowout. 34-6, Avonworth.
That's the score. We come back with more scores when we come back on KDK Plus.
To UPMC's. To UPMC Sports Medicine, a huge center of excellence built by Freddie Fu.
A fantastic, world-renowned place where we see athletes, we see patients of all walks of life, world-renowned surgeons.
Primary care sports medicine physicians.
Board-certified physical therapists.
A comprehensive multidisciplinary assessment to evaluate for concussion.
Nutrition.
Athletic training.
Sports performance. Everything is right here that you need. We deliver that right to you.
This Friday, the Steelers High School Showcase, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, features the South Bay Lions taking on the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Friday night at 7 on KDKA+.
College isn't for everyone. But from pay to training to retirement, Pennsylvania Laborers Union members live better. PA Laborers Union offers a great wage potential of $42 per hour and terrific health benefits. Imagine having 0 student loans while receiving state-of-the-art construction training. Join the team and get mentorship and guidance from experienced members. Go now to laborparecruit.com for more information.
You've got dreams, might even be something big. Imagine what you could do with the right solutions. Secured against evolving threats and set up to make the right decisions faster. At Acrisure, we help protect and grow everything you've worked so hard to build. We are the brightest people using the best of technology. We are an extraordinary advantage for you. We are Acrisure.
This Saturday, tune into JRM Sports on YouTube for D3 college football. As 2024 Co-PAC champions meet in Grove City, the Washington and Jefferson Presidents face the Grove City Wolverines. This Saturday at 7 p.m., only on JRM Sports.
Welcome back to Monaca, PA. Avonworth up 34-6 over Central Valley. I am here in a very special, popular tent, kettle corn making. Connor back there is making kettle corn, old school style. That's how he gets those big muscles, churning the popcorn. I don't know, Evan, can you get in there and see what he's doing? Connor, can Evan come back and see what you're doing over there? Avonworth youngsters want to come back and get some free kettle corn, but I don't think it's going to happen. Hey, I have a question, guys. Have you guys had this kettle corn? I'm here with Avonworth youngsters. What grade are you guys in? Seventh grade. All right, hold on. So what's so good about this kettle corn?
It's so good. It's the best kettle corn ever.
You guys, wait, one person at a time.
It's so crispy and yummy. It's the best kettle corn I've ever had in my life.
Best seasoning ever, I swear.
It's juicy and it's made quick.
Is this the best food booth at?
Yes.
Oh, thanks, Sally. Get your popcorn ready because Avonworth is driving. They had a great return. Antonio Perry returned it into Avonworth territory. And, you know, the thing about a Mark Lyons coach team, Arthur, is that they're not going away. They're going to keep going until there's triple zeros on the scoreboard. And, boy, that looks tasty.
You're absolutely right. On a night like tonight where homecoming, it isn't the outcome scoreboard-wise, that kettle corn, holy smokes, makes my stomach a little hungry over here now.
No doubt. Back into the belly of Shear, and Shear is pulled down at the 36-yard line.
And when you talk about a team that's coached by Mark Lyons, a guy that has had so much success, like you said, man, conference championships, WPIAL championships, PIAA championships, you know he's going to always find a message. He's always going to find a way to keep his team motivated, but also where they can learn from situations like this, because they had ample opportunities to make this game a lot more close and competitive, but we saw the self-inflicted issues, whether it was penalties or the incompletions in terms of drops, really come and bite them in the butt.
Screen pass that gets knocked away, incomplete. 4th down for Central Valley. Of course, 3 straight trips to the WPIAL championship. They fall in 23, but they won in 22 and 24, won again in 19. They're 39-13 since 2021.
Like you said, a highly productive program, and one of the big reasons why this team was just in competition for the WPIAL championship just a year ago with this Avonworth team. It seems as if, man, Avonworth, these past couple of years, even going back to 2022, WPIAL runner-up, back-to-back years, but then they finally crossed that threshold last year, and it looks like they just taking that momentum into this season right now.
And Ambrose gets decked on 4th down. It's turnover on downs. Credit Gavin McDowell for Avonworth on the tackle and sack that turns this ball right back over to the Lopes. And, you know, for me, Arthur, last year you knew Avonworth was going to be in the conversation. But if you look at how they've won, it's not that they've won. They did that last year. It's how they've won this year that has really, really impressed me. To me, Avonworth could play and win 4A. Look, they've already beat the two
best teams, absolutely.
And TJ and Aliquippa.
You're absolutely right. And like you said, man, when you watch this Avonworth team, they're very complete. All 3 phases have made plays tonight, whether you're talking special teams, offense, or defense. But at this level, and this doesn't matter if you're talking college, high school, or even the professional ranks, when you can win in the trenches, when you can control the line of scrimmage, it opens up the door for so much more. And that's one of the things that Avonworth has done time and time again this season, and they have really put it on display tonight.
That is Gavin McDowell. He is a sophomore, 5'10", 180. Maybe a look at the future. You know, talked about this before throughout the season of getting some of the younger guys some touches. And we discovered Dimitri Beldaceris on this very showcase 2 years ago as a freshman. He'll be back next year. That's kind of the scary part, is a lot of these guys return next year.
And then from our side, selfishly, that's the fun part, because we get to say, I get to watch this another year.
Right.
Thank you, because he's an exciting player, as you can see tonight.
Another carry for McDowell. Bellinger, a senior. Luca Neal, a senior. Cooper Sharding, a senior. But guys like Jaden Jones and Romello Harris, those guys are both sophomores. Talked about Bryce Metz. He's a junior. Dimitri, also a junior.
And then I've highlighted this offensive line tonight, but only 2 of those guys are leaving. When you talk about Peter Bonnet, the left tackle, going to Navy, and then that left guard, number 64, Tyler Haney. Other than that, we're talking about juniors and sophomores.
Yeah.
So if you're Avonworth, plenty to be excited for, not just in the short term, but also long term.
Dynasty, question mark? As McDowell gets the carry here. I mean, of course, they came so close to winning the state championship, lost it overtime, and believe they have a unit that can get back there this year. Holding that pulls this play back.
It'll be a 10-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
Before we get too far away, the Steelers they're out of Dublin already. Has to be exciting for all the players. Curious on your thoughts of what that would be like, what you would think about playing overseas and playing in Dublin, especially with all the history that the Steelers have. There's so much synergy between the two.
No, absolutely. A rich history, man. And when you talk about just the connection that the Rooney family has with Ireland.
Yeah.
But for me, man, when I think of just the international element, I was fortunate enough to play in some international games, never across the water, though. But it's always something that you take pride in because, as you said, man, it's a worldwide audience. So when you have that type of audience, man, you know you're representing the NFL, you're representing the Shield, and you want to do it to the best of your ability. So always a huge honor when you get these chances.
We'll talk more about that when we come back on KDK Plus in the Steelers Showcase. Time out on the field.
Around here in the fall, harvest moons, cool, crisp evenings, and on Friday nights, legends come alive in Pittsburgh. WPIAL High School Football. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union is a proud sponsor of the Steel City Game of the Week. Allegiant salutes the players, the fans, the cheerleaders, and the parents. Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. 7 locations and a sponsor of this WPIAL High School Football broadcast.
Stay connected with all the action. Follow JRM Sports on X, Instagram, and YouTube. Get the latest highlights, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes moments from your favorite sports. Don't miss a second. Follow us today.
This Friday, the Steelers High School Showcase, presented by Giant Eagle and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, features the South Fayette Lions taking on the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Friday night at 7 on KDKA+.
Need construction or real estate services? One call covers it all. Macero Construction Group, helping shape the city you love and the name behind Pittsburgh's skyline. We manage construction for many local schools, ensuring strong foundations for the future. Need space? Macero Properties has prime office and warehouse locations in the airport corridor and downtown. And when disaster strikes, Macero Restoration is ready 24/7. One name, one call. Macero Construction Group, building Pittsburgh, serving you.
A deep ball here that's caught and going all the way to the end zone. Central Valley cheerleaders enjoying themselves on homecoming night. And we are too. Hope you are here on our Steelers High School Showcase. Waning moments, 6 minutes to play, 34-6, Avonworth. Commanding lead in this one. Looking to move to 6-0. And they don't have another test. We'll talk more about this, but Bellinger in some trouble here. Rolling at, throwing, and intercepted. And I had said it earlier, he had not thrown an interception all season, and then that ball ended up falling to the turf. This one, Antonio Perry gets the first INT of Bellinger of the year.
Yeah, and it's one of those things for Bellinger that he's going to want that throw back. Feels a little bit of pressure early on by the defender right there, Ethan Bosco. But from there, get rid of the ball, throw it away. Don't risk that throw right there. And obviously, man, good job by the defender capitalizing on the opportunity from Bellinger. But that's going to be one of those throws that he's going to want back as soon as he looks back on that.
Braddock Ambrose gives it to Ethan Bosco, the freshman. The freshman breaks a tackle to the 45.
Hand off to number 20, Ethan Bosco. Brought down by number 13, Teddy Sweeney.
And the impressive thing with Ethan, like you said, as a freshman, he was the guy who created the pressure on that Bellinger interception right there. So good job to see that he's still one of those younger players that Central Valley will be able to rely on as the season goes forward, but also in future seasons as well.
One more time for Bosco. Picks up a Central Valley first down. Central Valley doesn't get easier for them. Next week they're at North Catholic, who is in a slugfest right now with Amani Christian, a battle of unbeatens. 2 of the 12 undefeated teams remaining in the WPIAL coming in to this Friday night. Avonworth will extend that. Pitch goes to 21. Ethan Andrusik, he's a sophomore, getting the first carry, and he gets 9 on first down.
Hand off to number 21, Ethan Andrusik. Brought down by
And that has to be the frustrating part for Coach Lyons right now. This game, the score doesn't truly reflect the competitive nature of it, and from Central Valley's standpoint, some of the positive things that they were doing tonight.
Sure.
They're a handful of self-inflicted issues away from this game being completely different.
Man. And there's another one. The ball pops into the air and recovered by Avonworth. Braden Baltos on the recovery for Avonworth, and the Lopes giveth and taketh away. One turnover deserves another.
And that's what makes Avonworth such a tough team to beat. When you are playing against them, they do so much right. But then when you create the self-inflicted issues, or in this situation, the forced fumble, it just makes them that much more of a tough outing. And that's ultimately why you see them having this type of success on the scoreboard and that 5-0, soon to be 6-0 record.
New quarterback in is Jackson May, a sophomore, 5'7", 145 pounds in your Lope roster.
So just a little bit smaller than Carson Bellinger is what you're
Slightly.
telling us. Just a little bit.
Handoff goes to Logan Kroll, a freshman, and the freshman tight ropes the near boundary before being rolled out of bounds shy of the midfield stripe.
And sticking with the theme for Avonworth, running the football and still behind that left side. Now, granted, different cast of characters in there, but still the same result for Avonworth as they're getting that explosive run right there.
18 yards on the rush. You've seen Duke John Core over there coaching from a chair with that tweaked nerve in his back. And arguably best seat in the house to what is one of the best teams in the league this season.
You're absolutely right. When you talk about the way that Avonworth can attack you, the different styles that they can play, whether you need to have this a running game where it's going to be physical, or if they want to spread you out and beat you through the air, Avonworth presents so many challenges when you're trying to defend against them. And if you don't have not just the scheme for it, but the personnel to match them, there's going to be a handful to deal with.
Second down, 12. Ball popped loose and jumped on by May. Back at the 37-yard line, or it will be third down. Yeah, so Central Valley next week goes to North Catholic. Then Quaker Valley back here at home, and then on the road, Hopewell and North Hills. They only have one home game remaining, so on their slate of games here for the season.
Well, they're going to have to turn into some road warriors is what that sounds like.
We get a timeout taken by Avonworth. As for us, there's some laundry on the field as Avonworth was running off the field. Probably something said. Oh, it's a delay of game.
Delay of game on Avonworth. No timeouts left.
Oh, they tried to call a timeout and they didn't have any. And that is a penalty. So that marches them back.
5-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
Third down and 25. They need the Central Valley 43 for a first down. Bottled up. Logan Kroll. Shout out to the Avonworth marching band tonight. Play a little Renegade at halftime.
Giving us some of everything that we're looking for, man.
Then they just played the Sunday Night Football theme between that. It's good stuff. There's the Avonworth cheerleaders.
Like I said, it's always good to see that, hey, regardless of the score, all the other people that are here for the game are making sure that they're enjoying themselves. When you're talking about the cheer squad, the band, etc.
No doubt. It's a community event, these high school football games. The bands, the fans, the cheerleaders. Punts away. And will park itself at about the 36-yard line. That's where Central Valley will have 2 minutes to do what they would like to do.
1st and 10 for the Warriors.
Taking a look at some scores from around the WPIAL. Peters Township leads Upper St. Clair 24-20. Amani Christian leads North Catholic 28-16. Aliquippa, those cardiac kids tied at 12. NA trails Central 21-3, and TJ beats Bell Vernon. That's a final 14-10, and I think Clarendon's going to sneak it out over Jeanette.
Yeah, that Clareton one, man, I thought it was going to be just a little bit closer, but Aliquippa and Newcastle.
How about it?
12-12. You know, like I said, they're zombies, man.
How
they're
about
never
this?
out of it.
Meanwhile, Central Valley, Ethan Andrusik, the sophomore, coasts down that far sideline. He wants a big-time play. He's inside the 30.
And like you said, man, for Coach Mark Lyons, it doesn't matter about the score at this point. You are going out there to execute. You're going out there to get better. And ultimately, you're saying, we're not quitting in this game. We may run out of time, but we're going to continue to play our brand of football. And that's really good to see right there from Ethan, the sophomore, still putting together some explosive type of plays tonight.
38 yards on that run. And sportsmanship being shown there. Ambrose goes down to a knee. Want to shout out and thank Athletic Director here at Central Valley, Sam Sircone, for rolling out the red carpet at Central Valley as he does all the time. Longtime Monaca head coach, was great with the Indians. And then when all of these mergers happened, takes the athletic director role. And Central Valley as an athletic program has done so many great things, and want to thank Sam for all of his help.
No, you're absolutely right. And not just, when we're talking about the program, but even the facility and the amenities. I mean, this is a beautiful football field, a beautiful press box. All of those things go into it. And like you said, man, with Sam, it's one of those things that you don't want to overlook because of that impact. And especially for guys like me and you, we can really appreciate that.
No question about it. Another knee down. Central Valley, the same script again as last year, dropping the first 3 games, winning their next 2, falling to Avonworth. Can they construct another epic comeback and find themselves in the final? That question left to be answered, but a statement victory Fear the deer. The Antelopes of Avonworth defeat Central Valley tonight, 34-6, in our Steelers High School Showcase.
Sometimes we like revenge. Other times we say, hey, man, they just got your number right now. And it looks like Avonworth, when you talk about the past 3 matchups between these two teams, they clearly have their number. But it starts in the trenches. And this was the same thing that it looked like in the WPIAL Championship when they were able to dominate in the trenches there. And until Central Valley or any other team can find a way to unseat the Antelopes in that department, they're going to be a tough out anytime you play against them.
You mentioned on Central Valley had a couple opportunities to keep this game close, but Avonworth too much and just too balanced to move themselves to 6-0 on the season. Central Valley falls to 2-4, their first loss in conference play. And Allie Cohen has our Massaro Construction Player of the Game.
Hey guys, I'm here with our player of the game, Dimitri Velaceris. You had a good one tonight, 27 carries, over 150 yards rushing. What was the game plan going in tonight against a team you guys know so well, and how did you execute?
I mean, we just knew we had to stop their defense. We knew we could run the ball. We knew we could pass the ball. We can do it all. And we came into this game knowing that, and I think that really helped us take this win.
So, Coach, your character word this week was energy. What did you feel that you guys brought to the field tonight, going off of that word of the week?
Oh, I thought we brought a ton of energy. The first drive scored a touchdown. I think we still had our energy up. We didn't really let down. We just kept our heads up and just kept pushing forward and took the win.
You guys still undefeated, 6-0 going into next week. What can you say stands out about this group of guys compared to other teams you've been on?
I mean, our chemistry, team chemistry, we've been playing since we've all been in the youth, so I think that stands out. And then our team pretty much being able to do everything. Our running backs, our quarterbacks, our receivers, we have it all. In our line, there's some studs. And our defense, we have one of the best defense in the WPIALs, in my opinion. And I think that really stands out.
It's got to be fun. Congrats, Dimitri. Get it done the rest of the way. Back to you guys.
Allie, thank you, and congratulations to Dimitri Velaceris, our Massaro Construction Player of the Game, as Central Valley falls to Avonworth 34-6 tonight. The Lopes 6-0 on this 2025 campaign, trying to make it back to that Acrisure Stadium in the championship. Here's the upcoming schedule. Mentioned it earlier. Doesn't get any easier on the road against North Catholic. Joey Felitsky, WPIAL touchdown leader right now. Then they back here at home at Sarge Albert Stadium for one final game, senior night for the Warriors against Quaker Valley. And then on the road at Tony Dorsett Stadium, home of the Vikings, to round out the season. Meanwhile, for the Avonworth Antelopes, they will host the Quakers of Quaker Valley next week. Then the Highlanders of McGuffey on the road before finishing it out. That will be a fun one in week 9 of the season at North Catholic, which could be leading up to a conference championship showdown.
You're absolutely right, and I think that's the exciting part if you're an Avonworth fan right now. They are tough. And when you look at those next couple of opponents, outside of North Catholic, man, who do we feel can knock them off of this trajectory that they're on right now?
Yeah, and you know what? I think Dimitri Velaceris said it best. He said, our offensive line is amazing. And when you're a running back and you're able to give credit to the guys up front that are making it all happen, it's a scary concept of who in AAA can play with Avonworth, rather. And right now, the answer is no one has.
You're absolutely right. And then also the thing that you heard Dimitri say was energy. You watch them and how they came out the gate. They're fired up each and every week. They're not being complacent. It looks as if their mindset is, we got to get back to that championship PIAA game that we lost and right that wrong.
Yeah, and it seems like a team that's on a mission tonight and throughout this season. And the Avonworth Antelopes, be interesting to see how the 3A playoffs play themselves out. And on the other side of it for Central Valley, trying to right their ship because they know there's a script, there's a path to get to the championship game despite how this season has played out to this point.
Absolutely. And on top of that, they are a talented program. You can see offensively, they can throw the football. Defensively, they have players. But they ran into what we feel like is one of the best teams, not just at 3A. We feel like they could play at the 4A level and still be dominant, and that's the unfortunate part for Central Valley on a night like tonight.
You know, if you're a program like Avonworth that you have the lineage of guys like Mercury and Morris, you want to go for the perfect season, right? You have to.
I mean, it's only right, and it does feel like destiny when you're talking about the way that they're winning and the teams that they're going against. You said Aliquippa, TJ, back-to-back. You don't see that happen, and the closest margin for victory for them has been 16-plus points. That's a special team right there.
Next week, we take our talents to the South Hills in Upper St. Clair to check on the Panthers as they will play host to the South Fayette Lions. Little showdown in the South Hills next week on our Steelers High School Showcase.
Can't wait for that one, baby. Can't wait for that one. The little Lions over there making some noise. Big win tonight. Definitely excited about that matchup, though.
Should be a lot of fun. For Arthur Moats, Allie Cohen, and our entire JRM video production crew, led by Jake Mislivchik, our producer, I'm Matt Fargo saying this has been a presentation of the Steelers High School Showcase Game of the Week. And until next week at Upper St. Clair, the Lopes win this one 34-6. The 10 o'clock news is next. Good night, Pittsburgh, Dublin. You're next. I'll see you in a couple hours. Good night.